rulings out today. Among them, the court expanding the power of the presidency in an opinion that allows presidents to hire and fire officials at independent government agencies. Tens of thousands of people are still missing under the rubble in Venezuela, where the death toll from last week's earthquakes now tops 1,700. Katie Sussman is the Deputy Regional Director at the International Rescue Committee.
Venezuela does not sit on one of the most notorious fault lines within Latin America. It's not something that we really even follow much. And so as we see the devastation that has really hit infrastructurally, the capacity to be able to respond is debilitated because it has never really been an issue in which you had to prepare.
Dangerous heat, meanwhile, is expected to sweep across the eastern half of the U.S. this week. This is ABC News. Federal charges are now being leveled against former NBA players Malik Beasley and Ed Davis. They're being accused of cooking certain games in an effort to win big on online gambling platforms.
This all began, they allege, in January 2024. They listed at least 3 other games where he basically planned to overperform in things like rebounds or underperform in scoring, and then made hundreds of thousands of dollars. They even cite to one text message in this indictment where Davis writes, quote, "The only way you can beat Vegas is through sports betting."
ABC's Peter Haralambous. A 31-year-old woman has become the latest person attacked by an alligator in Florida, the third such incident in just a week. And on the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum, the Rocky statue is being replaced by a 12-foot bronze statue of Joe Frazier. The heavyweight boxing champion is best known for beating Muhammad Ali in what many call the fight of the century. He was one of the boxers who inspired Rocky Balboa. I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Coming up, a husband now facing charges in the months-old death of his wife. It's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's update you in Sumner, where we have a rollover collision. About 90 minutes into this collision, blocking 2 right lanes, northbound 167, just past 410. So only the HOV lane is open to all drivers. You're backed up to Meridian once again. Eastbound 512 slowly improving. Your backup starts approaching Pioneer Way. Southbound 167 hasn't budged. You're packed from Algona to the scene. We're seeing the West Valley Highway along with the Valley Avenue and Traffic Avenue take on added volume because of this. Over to Federal Way, westbound 18, you're bumper to bumper from the West Valley Highway over to I-5. North 5, stop and go between the Fife Curve and State Route 18. South 5 in Lakewood at 84th, got a crash in your right lane, but prior to that, at 56, a separate collision in the left lane, and we're bumper to bumper between these 2 crashes. Tacoma to Olympia, we're pushing 45 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5 at I-90, a multi-vehicle collisions on your right shoulder, and traffic is jammed up into the U-District. Linwood to Seattle, about a half hour, and some brief backups at the First Avenue South Bridge from a recent marine crossing. This report brought to you by your Seattle Mariners. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer, presented by T-Mobile. Next up is the Patriotic Show, July 3rd. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Bellevue police say a 27-year-old woman found unresponsive in her apartment last October was killed, and her husband has now been arrested. The King County Medical Examiner ruled her death a homicide by strangulation. Police spokesman Drew Anderson says detectives re-interviewed the 30-year-old husband last week.
The interview and the evidence that our detectives collected at the scene, we developed probable cause to arrest this individual for homicide.
Suspect has not yet been charged. He is being held on $5 million bail. The former head of residential dining at the University of Washington is facing charges, accused of sexually abusing 2 young girls. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports the 56-year-old suspect faces 6 felony charges.
Court documents say Grantley Huff groomed and paid a 15-year-old and 13-year-old through apps on their phones and gave them shoes, clothing, alcohol, and marijuana. The mother of the 15-year-old victim contacted investigators back in March after she claimed she found sexually explicit images and conversations on her daughter's phone, according to the Seattle Times. Police say Huff used encrypted and auto-deleting messages to avoid detection, including encounters in hotel rooms. He's being held on $750,000 bail. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Tacoma firefighters are investigating an explosion at an apartment complex not far from Hunt Middle School. Fire crews say smoke was coming from an electrical conduit when alarms sounded and a resident pulled a fire alarm. Chelsea Shepard with Tacoma Fire tells KIRO 7 TV the blast happened about 20 minutes after they arrived.
So it sounds like the explosion actually happened inside the wall, but it did blow some particle board and such like out the back door. So it was pretty significant.
No one was hurt, but people in about 60 units had to find somewhere else to stay last night. The get-in price for this week's World Cup match in Seattle is currently among the cheapest options in the round of 32. You'll pay about $450 to watch Belgium take on Senegal this Wednesday, according to ticketdata.com. That is down sharply from last week's peak of more than $1,300. Some other knockout matches, meanwhile, they are still selling for more than $2,000 just to get in. To your forecast now, mostly cloudy skies with some peaks of sunshine starting to emerge at this hour and 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Oh, good. What's that word?
I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping. I don't know that for a fact.
Wait a minute. Did you edit that?
No, you always ask me. I haven't edited that.
There's no way that's it.
It's real.
Okay. Is that all one word? Xi Jinping in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains?
Okay. No, it's not.
All right. Well, that's what makes America great. You really can't sum it up in one word.
Can't argue with that.
No, well, you can. Why is Andrew taking over the show all of a sudden? Look at him showing off in there.
I know. Huh? We're talking about America.
Yeah, but you got somebody sitting next to you, so you're like, oh, look at me. I'm part of the show.
Sure.
Look at that. Two people sitting next to him. A full house.
And really showing off.
Absolutely full house.
Showing off in there. He's on the floor again. He's on the floor.
Whose responsibility is it?
Mine. All right.
This is a disaster.
Hang on. No other shows like this. Those other shows have big fans. Now for the Jake and Spike show. They're good intros. Our show comes limping on. There we are. You're welcome, Teeny. All right, everybody. Big plans for the 4th. I love the fact that the United States throws crappy parties. I think it speaks to the fact that we are such a huge place, so diverse, and everybody has an opportunity to express themselves in any way they want, right? It's not like you're going to North Korea where you have to keep applauding and the first guy that stops applauding is the one that gets shot. I mean, everyone's just allowed to do their own thing, which I think is great. And the fact that we have never thrown, let me think, have we ever kind of sort of threw a good party? So I've looked at, because everyone's talking about the stuff that's happening at the mall and how horrible, Freedom 250 is, right? Trump's thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked it up. Okay, you ready for this? The greatest thing about doing these things, writing about America is, or anything in history, I always say it repeats itself. It's just take anything that's happening now and then just say, has this happened before? And immediately you can find on anywhere on the internet, oh, yeah, we suck at celebrating our birthdays. All right, ready? So it's 1876, and they're going to throw this great big party, 1876. So 46 million people end up showing up at the thing. This is pretty good. This is in Philadelphia.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's 46 million people in the United States at the time. But think about this, Joe. Stop before you scoff. Okay. 10 million people showed up.
Really?
In Philadelphia. They traveled by train. Took them 3 days from California. Came in from Illinois. It was a one-day celebration in September. And 250,000 people walked through the gates in the September one. There was Thomas Edison was there. I don't know what he didn't say. But Alexander Graham Bell was there demonstrating the phone. You could touch the arm of the Statue of Liberty. That was a big deal. People like doing that. Then also the introduction of Heinz ketchup mesmerized the crowd. Root beer, get this, and I hope you're sitting down. They couldn't get enough of a thing called, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, popcorn.
Did you say this was a World's Fair?
No, this is the celebration, 1876.
A 4th of July celebration?
Well, yes, might I add, 1776, 1876. So we see the theme?
I see.
All right. It's a big deal. The Times of London said, quote, America's products show the application of more brains than we have in our command. They were, again, the popcorn blew them away. All right. So they're on a roll at this point. So that was the only one that really seemed to work out. That's 1876. So now let's try this again. So now in 1926, so they're going to add 50 years on top, right? So the Fairmount Park, they're going to do the same thing. It's going to be in Philadelphia. Variety magazine calls it America's biggest flop. John Wanamaker, who used to be a department store there called Wanamaker's. So John Wanamaker was a very rich guy living there in Philadelphia. He pushes in 1922, hey, let's have a big party. Oh, it's Philadelphia. Hey, let's have a big party for everybody here in Philadelphia. We'll bring him in. It'll be great. Just a second. I feel a tightness in my chest, and I got like a weird throbbing in my arm, and I'm a heart attack. And he dies. Oh. So Wanamaker dies. And people are like, what are they going to do? Well, let's keep going anyway. So the Republican Party there in Philadelphia, didn't know there was such a thing, they take over and they end up making it completely political. They expect 30 million people to show up. 4.6 million people come to the thing. For the celebration, it was 184 days of celebration. It rained 107 days. Not so good.
So 4 million over the course of the 100.
Yeah. It goes bankrupt, and everybody's like, we shouldn't have done it because it was a big waste, and old stupid John Wanamaker, it's his fault. Okay, so then what happens is, now we're going to go to 1976, right? The bicentennial. This is the crazy time where people will have a menage a trois and stuff. Okay, so LBJ he's elected, right? 1966, LBJ says, okay, let's have a bipartisan commission. I'm pretty much going to be out of it. Whatever they come up with, let's get this thing rolling. We got 10 years to get it going. So then Nixon ends up winning in 1968, and then he decides he's going to get involved. So he gets involved. He gets rid of the commission. He puts all of his buddies in place, and they're going to have like a World's Fair in Philadelphia, somebody suggests. And Nixon's like, no, it's too expensive. We're not going to do that. So then in 1972, Congress, Nixon gets all wrapped up because they find out he's used this 1976 big bicentennial for his promotion for himself, to push his political agenda, to help him in the election. So then they're like, this thing is a mess. They bring it before Congress. Congress investigates it and says, yeah, it's completely corrupt, and they take away the money. So now there's nothing planned except for what was happening. May have to get some Lee Greenwood at some point, Andrew. Andrew, maybe some Lee Greenwood at some point would be nice. So then there's nothing really, they can't get anything going. There's no real big plan for the bicentennial. But every town and every state and every city was like, well, we don't necessarily need that. We'll have flags. We'll have our own stuff. We'll have our 4th of July. We'll have our own, we'll paint our fire hydrants as colonial soldiers. I still remember that as a kid. It was crazy. It was like, yes. Come on, Lee. Yeah, at least you know you're free.
The men who died, who gave that right to me.
What are you going to do?
Stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land.
You gonna cry?
No.
God bless the USA.
I feel sorry for Lee Greenwood.
Oh, he looks like a corpse.
You're so sick of singing that song. Okay, so in 76, we end up doing it all on our own. Everybody just throws their own party. Works perfectly fine. It's really fun. No matter where you turn, you see a flag. There were flags everywhere. You had quarters that had the bicentennial on it. They had they came up with there was a bicentennial minute that was shown on television that CBS had all the time. Everywhere you turn, there was something celebrating the bicentennial. Flags everywhere, and everything was all about the bicentennial. And it worked. I think if you wanted to throw a party, as I remember it, that was fun for everyone, even though you didn't have some gigantic organized political thing, which leads us to the mess that we have today. So here's what happens. So they just start with this idea of having the first big party was, imagine two divorced parents throwing a party for their kid. That's basically what we have. So the kid is like, I don't know who I'm supposed to listen to and where am I supposed to stand, and this is an uncomfortable photo. So the first one is parent number one. It's America 250, right? Congress creates this outfit back in 2016 as a bipartisan mandate. They had 10 years. They had $150 million they were going to spend for the greatest national celebration since the bicentennial. What happens? Well, we get from that group, we get this weird googly-eyed blob, which is supposed to be a star named George the Star. Have you seen it?
No.
It's terrible. It looks like NBC's The More You Know kind of guy, the shooting star thing. So we get that. We're supposed to get concerts and stuff. That all falls apart. Two big contractors for the America 250 were two big Democrat supporters, SKD, Knickerbocker, and Precision Strategies. They both got millions of dollars. They find out later on they're deeply connected politically, and then they decide, yes, we're going to have a big celebration for the 250th. But then they get in there and they start to say, but we don't want to just celebrate America and not look at all the horrible things that America did. So the NAACP Legal Defense Fund gets involved, and they decide they want to rename America 250 to Reckon, Reimagine, and Refound. MSNBC's commentator said they're deeply uneasy celebrating America's birthday because America is not, quote, never actually fully recognized its racist past. So then this group of people got in there and they wanted to do a whole thing of all the horrible things about America, because nothing says a celebration like bringing up horrible things. They wanted to bring up the horrible things, say, yes, we're doing okay, but still we need to do so much more. But so think about it, if you were at somebody's birthday party, would you bring any of that up? Yeah, he's a good dad now, but a couple of years ago, he was chasing the skirts around. I mean, just wouldn't you, just kind of... You overlook that stuff.
Remember when Dad got arrested for kidnapping?
Yeah, hey, birthday boy, watch the DUI, third one, right? You don't bring this stuff up. So then what happens is that thing falls apart. They don't do anything once Trump gets elected. So then Trump realizes they're not doing anything. They don't want to do anything because of Trump's in there. So they're at a stalemate. So Trump decides, well, he's going to do his thing, which was Freedom 250. Which turns out to be a total and complete bomb. Nobody wants to be a part of it. The stuff at the mall is a mess. In fact, there's a digital billboard announcing temporary closure, misspelling the organization's name Freedom, FREEEEDOM 250. There's plywood mock-up of Trump's proposed Arc de Triomphe. But apparently it's coming apart. The vinyl's peeling off the side of it. There's a Ferris wheel that's broken down a number of times. People get on it. They say it's a 45-minute ride. And the saddest part of it is that there's the word freedom everywhere, but you're basically stuck in the thing for 45 minutes.
You want to see a little bit? Dr. Oz and Dean Cain were on stage today.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it's because there's tons of people here. It's a huge space, and it's just going to get more and more crowded as the week goes on.
Not only do we have a lot of people here, we have people that you want to have here, like Stacey Garrity.
Oh, God. Oh. Yeah, and they have to keep talking about more people are coming.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it.
This is a perfect example of, and that's why you can't throw a party with divorced parents or when politics gets involved, as they did back in the various years in the celebrations, whether it was Philadelphia, I told you about, or, the only one that really seemed to go well was the one that involved Heinz ketchup and popcorn. That was it. Those were not combined, by the way. They tried that briefly, and it didn't work. Yeah, that was the one back in 1876. That's pretty crazy. There's 46 million people lived in the United States, and 10 million paid to attend.
That is wild. That's incredible, actually.
Yeah. Must not have been much going on, but I guess it's all perspective.
It's before Facebook.
Be wowed by popcorn, root beer, and a Heinz ketchup, all in that order. So America turns 250. The best we could do, we have two organizations fighting over money, a mascot that nobody cares about, one broken Ferris wheel, and Vanilla Ice, who also got rained out. Happy birthday, America. You deserve better. I think the other positive way of looking at it is we're too big, we're too unwieldy, we have way too much freedom, and everybody's going to celebrate any way they want, and that is the true celebration for America. Lee Greenwood, get him to sing the last part for us. That'd be great. Thank you.
The last part?
Well, any part would be good. Just going to kick it off, and that's what makes America great.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I
was for bring the drums in.
the men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the U.S.
Do the harmony. There you go.
Shout out to George the Star.
Yeah, look at that. But they paid to get that, come up with that stupid thing. It showed up at somebody at a baseball game. Oh, it was at the Nationals game. Shows up. Nobody knew what it was. People trying to get people like, look at a picture with George the Star. Oh, it's so sad.
The Star.
My dad wanted us to 76. He says, get some hot dogs and get to Valley Forge. Go down there to Valley Forge and walk around and sell hot dogs. I was like, Dad, you can't just go. Oh no, he goes, if you can't do it there, then go down to Gettysburg. You and your brother. And I'm like, and go where? Listen. You get down there, there's going to be a bunch of people. They're going to be hungry and tired. They're going to want something to eat. Get a costume. Get your mom to make you a costume. These are the kind of conversations we have at dinner. Get your mom to make you a costume. My mom's we would finish dinner before my mom sat down. Like she would still be putting the plate away or whatever. And my dad would, hey, what's for dessert? My mom, I haven't even eaten yet. That's how fast we ate. We didn't care about food. So my dad would go, all right, listen, get your mother to make you, hey, you make them costumes. Make the boys' costumes. You guys get in there with hot dogs, at Gettysburg. There's people walking around like, hey, what are we supposed to look at? And you're there selling hot dogs. You're dressed up like, I don't know, you could do the whole, Civil War thing, whatever. And my mom's like, you want me to make you Civil War costumes? We're like, hold on, whoa. Dad, we're going to just go onto the battlefield, this sacred battlefield, and sell hot dogs? No one's thinking about that. Like, what are they thinking about? They're thinking about they're hungry. All right, listen. You're not getting in there. You're not desecrating the place. It's hot dogs.
How are you gonna cook them?
No, you cook them ahead. I don't. Hey, here's what he'd say to you, Joe. Hey, Joe. I'm not the detail guy. I'm giving you the big picture. You want to make $10,000? Everything was $10,000. You want to make $10,000? You go down there and do that. $10,000. Hot dog. That's right. I could do that at Gettysburg, right? Walk around dressed as one of the soldiers.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
Easy 10K.
Get your bicentennial hot dog.
Hot dog.
Hot dog right here.
As long as there's ketchup and mustard, I'd eat a raw hot dog.
Whoa. Say that, Andrew.
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to cook it.
Hold on, Paul.
Throw some relish, mustard.
Got to clean, Andrew?
Oh, sorry, not yet.
Okay, all right. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nate, on.
Yes, sir. Sumner, after nearly 2 hours, we just cleared our rollover crash northbound 167 just past 410. Turns out this was a driver towing a trailer with a truck on it. It went a little too fast and rolled over. We're backed up to Meridian still. Eastbound 512 is backed up to Pioneer Way. Southbound 167, we're bumper to bumper from State Route 18 now to the scene. It's about 25 minutes to clear this southbound backup, but we're going to start to improve now that we've opened up all lanes. Federal Way, both directions of I-5 heavy between State Route 18 and the Fife Curve. In South Tacoma, we cleared both of our collisions. South 5, 56 and 84th were all clear. And South 5 pretty much is cleared out. North 5, though, remains heavy from 512 up to 56. Here in Seattle, South 5 at I-90 still dealing with a collision on your right shoulder. You're backed up into the U District near 50th. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. And Bellevue to Renton on 405, a 25-minute commute. You're heavy from Southeast 8th through Coal Creek Parkway. It thins out as you head into Renton. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, we're finally getting some relief at the pump now that things are cooling down a little bit in the Middle East. You know what? That's great. But now we're going to raise the gas tax again here in Washington. It goes up on Wednesday. So do the fines for work zone mobile cameras. It's just getting more expensive as we head to the 4th of July. Details tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Caregiving isn't just hard work, it's heart work. Every day, caregivers bring dignity, kindness, and comfort to those who need it most. Right now, Washington needs more caring hearts. Your kindness, your patience, your heart are needed more than ever. Caregiver Careers Washington will guide you every step of the way. Our friendly navigators help you find training, certification, and employment at no cost to you. Start your heart work today at caregivercareerswa.com. That's caregivercareerswa.com.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB in this station.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. We're having a trade-in sale. You'll save $30 per door and drawer front off the cost of your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Washington Secretary of State is celebrating today's Supreme Court ruling, allowing states to count ballots that arrive after Election Day. Secretary Steve Hobbs says another threat is looming as the president pushes for the Save America Act, which would further limit mail-in voting nationwide.
The president held hostage this bipartisan housing bill, and he's holding it hostage until the SAVE Act gets through, and that will have implications on Washington State vote-by-mail system.
The SAVE Act would require proof of U.S. citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. Bill passed the House earlier this year but remains stalled in the Senate. Meantime, the U.S. Supreme Court announced it will hear a case over a Washington law that allows shelters to help teens access gender-affirming or reproductive care without immediate parental notice. KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay reports.
The plaintiffs say the law violates parents' constitutional rights to direct the care and upbringing of their children, as well as their religious freedoms, due process, free speech, and equal protection rights. In 2024, a federal judge dismissed their lawsuit, saying they failed to show concrete harm from the law. And the state attorney general's office tells KIRO News Radio, quote, "We will be prepared to successfully defend it at the Supreme Court." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is breaking with two longtime Democratic state lawmakers. She is now endorsing their more progressive challengers. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey explains.
According to the Washington State Standard, on Saturday, Mayor Wilson told State Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson, author of the Millionaire's Tax, and longtime State Representative Jerry Pollitt, she will be endorsing their opponents in order to shake up the status quo. Social Democrat Hannah Sabio-Howell on the Gia Ursula Show is calling for more taxes on the rich.
We are paying so much more at the end of the day, at the end of the year, to live here than the super wealthy.
Pollitt's opponent, Ron Davis, wants to tax corporations to make everyday life more affordable for the non-wealthy. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Could President Trump be headed to Seattle next month? Apparently there is a chance if the U.S. men's soccer team advances. Seattle Times reports King County International Airport is warning businesses about a possible presidential flight restriction on July 6th. That's the day Seattle hosts a round of 16 World Cup match. U.S. could compete here if it beats Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday. White House has not yet confirmed any travel plans. And now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's start you with the Valley Freeway. We've already cleared out northbound 167 and eastbound 512 from our earlier crash. Southbound 167 remains heavy, though, from State Route 18 into Sumner. After about Jovita Boulevard, you're going to thin out pretty quickly. Federal Way, both directions of I-5, we're heavy from State Route 18 through the Fife Curve. South 5 in Seattle at I-90, we're almost cleared our collision from the right shoulder. Still got a couple vehicles left, and you're going to slow at the scene, and that's got you stacked up to about northeast 50th. So Linwood to Seattle, plan on 25 minutes. North 5, you're going to slow at the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is heavy from southeast 8th to Cold Creek, and then from there you're going to thin out, but you're not in the clear till you get toward the S-curve. So right now it's about a 25-minute trip from Bellevue to Renton. And up north, Everett to Marysville is at 15 minutes with our typical backup between 526 and 529. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Mostly cloudy skies for this afternoon. A bit of a cloudy week in store overall with highs in the mid to upper 60s. Right now, looking at 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Great to see everybody yesterday on there in Bellevue for the big signing. I don't know how many signatures we got. Probably another couple thousand. And while we were sitting there, while everybody was giving their signing up and swinging by and saying hi to Brandy Cruz and Ari Hoffman and myself.
You saw a Home Comfort Alliance truck.
No, but I did want to mention them.
Oh, good idea.
In due time. When I hear the bell, very Pavlovian, there at Home Comfort Alliance when it comes to heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical needs. It's Home Comfort Alliance, homecomfortalliance.com. Nice. Yeah, I was out there, and then while we were there, I guess, I don't know where they had these collected, but Kelly, who's in charge of the thing, boxes and boxes and boxes of all these ballots start coming in because it all comes through the like third-class mail or something or other because, I don't know, whatever it is. They get to collect them all. So she's pulling out all these signed initiatives, and there's all these signatures on there. I don't know what the total is, but they're still going for the record, which I think is like 690,000. And that was set back in 73 when the people of Washington rose up and said, no, we don't want you to be able to give yourself a pay increase, you lawmakers in Olympia. It was probably like a $2 pay increase or something like that. You're like, no, none for you.
Not on my
So that
watch.
was the record. So you talk to the people that are fighting against the the income tax. They'll tell you they would like to get 690. They want to break that record because a shorter period of time. I think like how many days? 40-some days in order to get them all. Yes. By the 3rd of July will be the last day to have all those signatures in. So nice to see. We've already hit the number. We're well over 390-some thousand, and they keep going. Which leads to what happened to me yesterday. A listener who has to turn KIRO Radio off just briefly. He doesn't turn off, just turns the volume down because there's something that apparently everybody here at the station does that really deeply bothers him. So much so, he has to turn it off temporarily and then turn it back on again. But he knows when it's coming. So here it is.
Okay, what is your question and your concern?
My concern is how many times an hour does a person have to say their name if it's a traffic alert?
Right.
Why not give the traffic alert?
Right.
And not, why do you have to say that? And this is...
Yeah, so like Aaron Granello, like why does Aaron have to say, why?
Why?
And
Why?
when he does
Over
that,
and over.
Over and over. It's like, and your concern was that is it FCC or was it ego, right?
Yeah.
FCC or EGO?
Or is it a radio station policy?
I don't know. And what happens when he says his name over and over again? What do?
I turn the radio off. But just for that...
Right, just that part. Then you have to turn it back on again.
Hear it.
Yeah.
His name again, over and over and over.
We'll have to ask Aaron, okay? I'll find out for you.
You know, it used to be Tracy, too.
I know.
Or whoever.
Right. Well, let's find out about why Aaron's doing it.
Why?
Okay, good.
Whatever.
Yeah, this didn't get captured on video for some reason. I also said, I threw Nate under the bus, too. I said, Nate does it. I said, everybody does it.
Well, he was talking about traffic. I mean,
he's brought up traffic, but I was just trying to bring Aaron in. He goes, because I knew he listens, and he goes, he likes Aaron, but he just doesn't know why. I said, it's like a byline in a newspaper. The person's name is underneath. I said, they do this all the time. I'm Tom Brokaw. They say their name at the beginning and the end of the thing. Why is that? Are you taught to do that, or is it just like a big festering ego thing?
It's total ego.
Is it? Okay.
That's all it is. End of story. No.
I say, why is that?
It's a great question. It's how it's always been done in radio. I mean, you call it the standard out cue.
Right.
In fact, in our scripts that we write for the anchors to read, we write standard out cue, SOC. So the anchor or reporter knows that that's the last thing that you hear is the reporter's name or voice. So it's been done forever, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this, though. When I first started anchoring, this was before Charlie Harger, who is now morning host, was news director.
Yes.
I didn't used to say my name.
The mighty have fallen.
I didn't used to say my name at the beginning of the newscast.
Right.
That was a Charlie Harger directive. Say, good morning or good afternoon, I'm so-and-so.
Right.
Now, at the end, it's always been that way.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, that's like 2-3 years ago, I would say that
So
changed.
the name in the beginning and then the name in the end.
But this guy, he's saying he turns when he knows. So
He knows
at the
it's coming.
He turns it down for what?
Just half a second.
Half a second. Cranks it back up again, and then he knows it's coming at the end. He turns it back down again.
Does it bother him that he hears your name all the time too?
I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, where? I don't ever say, the John Curley Show or what. Maybe
do you not? I guess I don't know.
Once or twice, but that's about it.
Yeah. Well, not at the end.
Because I don't like it. I don't like the name of it. I don't like my name, John Curley. I still have a problem with them changing my name.
I like it. I think it's actually.
Well, so no one's asking you, Steve.
Fair. Okay.
But no, going back to what you said though, it's the byline. That's exactly what it is.
Okay.
But yes, the beginning and the end does feel a little like overkill.
Charlie's not here anymore.
Yeah.
He's fallen into that morning show thing. So you could probably just ixnay.
Should I?
Ixnay on the
I think
name.
next time I will.
So are you telling me when we come back at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
We're not going to hear your name in the
Straight in the news.
Wow.
Wow, look
Right
at
there.
that.
That's how it happens.
Well,
right, just like that.
I'm a man of the people. If that's what the people want, that's what I'll do.
Is it the 2 times it bothers him, or would it once?
Dude, let's not pick away at the scab right at this point. Let's just let some healing
One thing at a
begin.
time.
Let's let some
It's
healing
so odd. The two complaints we've got about traffic or anchor names
Yes.
has been saying it too many times, apparently. And the people that would complain about Lori, who fills in for Nate sometimes, not saying her last name.
Right.
People, that seems to really bother
Can't
people.
satisfy him.
Yeah.
I wonder, is he also upset when, for instance, I will say, KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
Right.
And then you hear James say it.
I think that's probably going to get in his crawl as well. That's
should I
gonna be-
stop saying that? Should I stop
I can't
introducing-
listen. This is a guy that was there in the parking lot in Bellevue on Sunday, and then you have Charlie setting the whole thing up. You can't have this guy pull the one sort of Django piece of wood out, and then the whole thing comes collapsing down. Because then you throw it to Lynch, and he's like, "Hey, what about me? Why not my name? Why didn't you mention my name?" Then he's all angry, and then you know what happens when he gets angry.
Oh boy, you don't want
I
to
do
see that.
Well, can we do a call to action now to voters to text us and let us know what they think? Because I don't know. I want an informal
No,
poll
you
here,
just
potentially.
you just take care of yourself over there.
Okay.
Aaron. You're fine.
All right.
All right.
What about Nate?
Oh, Nate's in a whole nother. Does Nate mention himself in the
Yeah,
traffic?
oh yeah, I do it because Aaron tells me to.
Well, there we go. Hopefully that guy's going to be satisfied. So he'll only have to turn it down, this volume down at the end of your thing. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. He knows when it's coming. And he is a big fan. He is a big fan. It was fun being there because it was Ari's fans were there, and then they'd come over and apologize to me. Hey, I'm sorry I listened to Ari, not you, but I really appreciate you're here. I see some of your stuff, but I'm kind of an Ari guy. I go, that's good. Hey, I don't mind. And then Brandy Cruz shows up. She's like the belle of the ball, and then everyone leaves me and leaves Ari. They're all over there. Oh, Brandy.
Wow.
Oh, Brandy. And then she'd be like, all right, fellas, come here. She was like Mae West. Come here, fellas. I want to shoot some video. What do you think, huh? Yeah, see? And then she had us standing. She's like, you stand there and you stand there, Ari. And then so I'm on the video. She's talking the whole time, and I'm just like, I'm not in the shot. So I backed out of the shot a little bit. Then she's like, get back in here, see? Yeah, she was really controlling the crowd.
Do you know, does Brandy say her name at the end of her podcast? I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
No.
All
She doesn't need it the way you need it, Aaron.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
That makes sense.
Find out for that. All right. There we took. See, that's what we do for the people. All right. By the way, Joe, you arranged. We're going to have
Hannah Krieg.
Hannah Krieg is going to come in.
Of the burner.
Yeah. And she's the perpetual thorn in the side of Washington conservatives on Twitter. All right. So
Her and Walsh spar all the time.
yeah, Jonathan Cho on the left, and then you get her. She's on the right, and going back. She was a big supporter. Hannah, a big supporter of Katie Wilson. And then has she come out and now call her Shady Katie? She's reporting other people say that.
She's definitely has some issues with some of the choices that Katie's made.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if she gets credit for coining that phrase.
All right. Well, we welcome her in here in just a little bit. But first, in the meantime, here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thank you, Johnny. This one brought to us by Seattle Sports. We're heavy at the King-Pierce County line this afternoon. Southbound 167, bumper to bumper from State Route 18 into Sumner. South 5 is packed from South 320th and Federal Way through that Fife curve, and then North 5, you're packed from the Fife curve to State Route 18. Seattle to Federal Way, just a half hour. It's starting to fill in between Interurban and South 200th. South 5 in Seattle, we're heavy closer to Ravenna now, down to I-90. We finally cleared all the vehicles from that collision at I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. North 5 slows at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 405, we're slow from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing, extra heavy from Northeast 8th through Cold Creek Parkway. North 405 at 30th there in Renton. We've got a new crash. It's in the HOV lane. And Seattle to Linwood and Bellevue to Linwood are both less than 25 minutes. Download the Seattle Sports app to stay in the know with the latest news, scores, and opinions about your favorite teams. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Do you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS like Will?
When I was 50, my whole life fell apart. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost the house, I lost pretty much everything except for my life. When the IRS came calling, I just didn't have it in me. I felt like Wile E. Coyote, just waiting for that IRS anvil to drop.
Then Will found tax relief advocates.
I heard their advertisement on the radio, I wrote down the number, and I made the call that changed everything. The IRS gave me a bill for $40,000. Tax Relief Advocates got that down to $3,200. I've paid 9 cents on the dollar. Now that's a great deal in anybody's book.
If you owe 10 or even hundreds of thousands of dollars to the IRS, don't lose hope. Do what Will did and call TRA for a consultation.
But for me, the real win is I got my life back.
Visit TRA.com or call 800-488-2578. 800-488-2578. That's 800-488-2578.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Guys, it's Men's Health Month at Revive Seattle. Get a free comprehensive wellness panel. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Valued at $400. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Mom, she was living on her own and scared. We didn't feel it was very safe for her. And we found Aegis. Love it. Everybody is so welcoming and she is just so safe here.
She has serious Alzheimer's disease. When she sees me, she smiles, she gives me a hug, and we dance together.
Aegis Living helps you understand your choices so the right decision feels easier. Visit aegisliving.com and see why so many families say, Aegis Living, this must be the place.
Want the inside scoop on the Mariners? Sign up for Mariners Mail and 24/7 text to get access to exclusive pre-sales, special ticket offers, breaking news, and more. Go to mariners.com/insider and text Mariners to 24/7.
There we go. Makoshi Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. So this has become a tradition on the show for as long as I've been doing radio here. I think it's like 16, 17 years that I've always wanted to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. I've tried numerous times. In fact, I met a guy who was out there in Bellevue at the signing. And he said, "You remember me? I was there for the water skiing event."
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh, yeah, I remember that." I think it was October 8th, 2000 or something. He goes, "Was that the date?" God, it was a long time ago. Yeah, he was involved in that thing. So, and I tried to do jumping jacks, push-ups, a whole bunch of other stuff. And so anytime there's anybody who's broken a record, Joe or who's ever producing the show always points them out. Like this one. A Chicagoan is on their way to Alaska to visit 35 national parks with a toddler in tow in an attempt to make their 18-month-old baby. Oh, God. the youngest ever to visit all 63 American national parks.
One family is trying to make their daughter the youngest person to visit all 63 national parks.
And Kissy, when you get the book, do you? Why don't you grow a fingernail and then talk to me? Ooh. I told you I'd try to grow the baby toenail. No. I was going for the longest baby toenail. And then I was taking this kickboxing class, and we had to get, I know, it was gross. Ugh. We had to get pick a partner. And I forgot about my gross baby toenail. And the woman was holding my ankles down. She went to hold my ankles down. And as she went to put her hands down to hold my ankles down, she accidentally cut part of her forearm on my baby toenail.
She have to get like a tetanus shot?
Then I had to apologize. Well, okay, back to the story.
And Alaska is next on their list. The Sharma family traveled from Chicago to Anchorage to tackle four parks, Katmai, Lake Clark, Denali, and Kenai Fjords. The family started visiting parks when their little one was 6 weeks old. They decided to go for the record when a ranger suggested it.
Oh, yeah, there we go, some ranger. Why don't you get a record? Okay.
The family says trying for a record with a child hasn't been easy, but they say memories like their daughter's first time seeing a waterfall are worth it.
No.
These might be like little moments that we take for granted, but when you view that same visual from the eyes of your own child.
Is that an Irish accent?
Of how, and it just gives you a sense of gratitude towards nature and just kind of slow down and experience it.
The family has visited more than 30 parks. They plan to visit Katmai on Sunday.
Okay, I have got news for you, parent there of a young kid. They will not remember any of this. None of it. Now, people will say, oh, it helps to form the child. But as far as ability to recall, I tested it one time because I had a bunch of receipts because I looked at American Express. It was in this big pack of this envelope and had a rubber band around it. And I was just going through it one day. And also I started noticing stuff like, oh, Disney on Ice. There's the circus came to town. We went to Tacoma. A bunch of different Globetrotters. I said to the kids, what was your favorite, Globetrotters, circus, or Disney on Ice? They're like, what? It's like, what of the three, which one do you remember going to? None of them. We never went to Disney on Ice. Oh, yeah, you did. Oh, you did. And we had to buy all this stupid fairy stuff, and then Raya had to get some dumb elephant, which she cried about because you made fun of it. How about, you remember that? And they're like, no. I said, how about the Globetrotters? We never went to the Globe. Oh, yes, we did. We got the popcorn. We got the stupid, gigantic, weird pixie stick thing.
How old were they for these?
Young, but like in this thing, this like 18 months, a year and a half, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of a sudden, their only recollection is like all of a sudden they hit 6 years old. Yeah. I remember that. I'm like, do you remember going to the Storm games? No. You don't remember sitting on the floor at the Storm games when they won the championship? No. Do you remember me throwing you in the air? Remember Sue Bird picking you up and running around the floor with you? Charlie's like, not really. I was like, ah! These are like formative moments. It's supposed to like, do you don't remember any of this stuff? No, nothing. It's just a blur. But people will say, take them there anyway. It forms character, helps create their brain and stuff. But, man, you start to look at those American Express bills, you're like, geez, that's why don't bother buying them anything.
What do you think they get out of it?
I don't know. These people in Chicago get their kid in the World Book of Records or something. But you take them, and then, tale as old as time. And she's skating around with a bunch of, candelabras on, and the kids are, like, watching and walk out, and they're all sick from all the food. But they no memory of it. Until you show them the photo. Oh, yeah. Like, no, you don't know that.
Yeah, I have fake memories from photos.
Right.
But I think right about 6 is when
stuff starts to dig in. Right. Yeah. They remember the stuff you don't want them to remember. I remember one time walking in on you and Mom.
That's traumatic.
Tale as old as time. Here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
All right, Renton North 405 at 30th. You got a crash in that HOV lane. That's got you stacked up to the Valley Freeway. Renton to Bellevue, 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 40-minute drive. Heavy volumes south of State Route 18 all the way into Puyallup. Federal Way to Tacoma is a half hour on I-5. We're packed from south 320th to 54th in Fife, where I think we've got a new collision. It's just out of my camera view, but traffic comes to a screeching halt. Looks like maybe 2 right lanes are blocked. Tacoma to Olympia looking great at 35 minutes. If you're heading over Tiger Mountain on westbound 18, it's bumper to bumper from Deep Creek up to the summit. Here in Seattle, South 5 heavy from Ravenna down to I-90. It's a half hour from Linwood into downtown. And Everett to Marysville, a 15-minute commute. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, we're finally getting some relief at the pump now that things are cooling down a little bit in the Middle East. You know what? That's great. But now we're going to raise the gas tax again here in Washington. It goes up on Wednesday. So do the fines for work zone mobile cameras. It's just getting more expensive as we head to the 4th of July. Details tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
John is a national champion ping pong player.
My greatest claim to fame is an actor who portrayed the Chinese national champion that played Forrest Gump. I played him in a national tournament and I actually beat him.
Competing at that level takes precision and healthy shoulders. But after years of wear and tear, he was dealing with a serious shoulder injury.
I had a slap tear. Success rate for the surgery was only about 15%.
Instead of surgery, he chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy, the most experience in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
The next day, I was pretty much 100%. I was pain-free. I had problems with my shoulder for 20 or 30 years.
And have you been able to compete again?
I won a national title 6 months after the procedure. My shoulder's like I'm an 18-year-old.
So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represent Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these 3 books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Staples Easy Deal Days are here. Score up to 50% off more than 1,000 products in-store and online. It all ends July 4th. Staples. That was easy.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements.
At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM, and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Among the major decisions from the Supreme Court today, a ruling that allows a president to hire and fire officials at independent government agencies. ABC's Devin Dwyer says it marks a significant expansion of presidential power.
In effect, that has now limited the ability of Congress to create independent, bipartisan agencies across our government. This will transform the federal government and eliminate a lot of those agencies that have both Republicans and Democrats on them. The agencies will still be there, of course, but now a president will be able to pack them with members he chooses because, as John Roberts said, they carry out executive functions.
President Trump is indicating a team will head to Doha, Qatar tomorrow for peace negotiations with Iran. However, Iranian state media reports there will be no negotiations between the U.S. and Iranian teams there. And much of the eastern half of the U.S. is bracing for triple-digit temperatures this week. This is ABC News. We now know the date of the retrial of former South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh. He's facing murder charges in the deaths of his wife and son. Murdaugh will now stand trial in April after the South Carolina Supreme Court threw out his conviction earlier.
For the first time since South Carolina's highest court overturned the double murder convictions of his son Paul and wife Maggie, Alex Murdaugh back in court appearing for a hearing on a retrial. Judge Deborah McCaslin setting a new trial date.
I'm thinking April the 5th.
Murdaugh appearing in court shackled and wearing an orange jumpsuit. His legal team requesting he be allowed unshackled and in plain clothes.
ABC's Michelle Franzen. A collision today between a drone and a JetBlue flight as the plane was making its final descent into JFK Airport in New York today. The plane landed safely, and the FAA says it's investigating. Speaking of drones, federal authorities now say they've brought down around 500 of them at World Cup match sites and parties across the country. I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
Coming up, a high-profile murder case now on hold. That's after Nate Connors at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It's getting busy in some areas. Northbound 405 in Renton at 30th. We've got a crash now blocking two left lanes. That leaves one lane open, so we've got a bumper-to-bumper backup starting just before State Route 167. Renton to Bellevue just spiked to a 40-minute commute. Southbound 405, you're packed from mid-Bellevue to our crash scene. Bellevue to Renton, also a 40-minute drive. Now, down at Pierce County at Fife, South 5 at 54th, this disabled semi is now on your right shoulder. It was blocking earlier, and that's why you're in a bumper-to-bumper backup from South 320th to the scene. Federal to Tacoma up to 35 minutes. That's double the norm. South 5 into Seattle, we're heavy from about Ravenna down to I-90. It's a half hour from Linwood into Seattle. North 5, we're looking pretty good. Everett to Marysville, 15 minutes. It's crowded from 526 up to 529. And really, outside of this, we're looking good across the map. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. The murder case involving the stabbing death of a UW student is now on hold. The decision follows a court hearing today involving the suspect, Christopher Leahy. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has the latest.
In court, a King County judge ordered Leahy to Western State Hospital for competency restoration to ensure he can assist in his own defense. Leahy is charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of UW student Juniper Blessing. Douglas Wagner is with the King County Prosecutor's Office.
The competency return hearing, which is where the defendant will return to court for the next determination of competency status, is set for September 24.
With his competency in question, no plea has been entered, but the case remains active. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
The former head of residential dining at the University of Washington faces 6 felony charges. Grant Lee Huff is accused of sexually abusing 2 young girls. Court documents say the 56-year-old man groomed and paid a 15-year-old and a 13-year-old through apps on their phones. Police say he used encrypted and auto-deleting messages to avoid detection. Huff is being held on $750,000 bail. An electrical transformer may have caused this huge explosion in Tacoma. Blast displaced residents at an apartment complex last night near Hunt Middle School. KIRO 7 TV's Ranji Sinha reports from the scene.
Firefighters had been called to the area on reports of smoke around 5:30 p.m. Sunday. They arrived and the explosion went off.
There's glass and everything.
Yeah, the windows were blown out into the yard. The doors, the patio is crumbling from the bottom. It was really bad.
It was not good.
According to updated info from the Red Cross, 5 buildings were impacted. 1 building was directly impacted. It had 4 units and 12 people were displaced from their home.
Another 4 buildings are without power still, but residents can return tonight. Ticket prices for this week's World Cup match in Seattle are among the cheapest in the round of 32. Fans can get into Wednesday's Belgium-Senegal match for about $450. That's according to ticketdata.com. Just last week, cheapest seats topped $1,300. Compare that to some other knockout games where get-in prices are still north of $2,000. To your forecast now, we are staying a little cloudy and cool through midweek and a slight rain chance on Wednesday. Right now, mostly cloudy skies and 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
We're starting now. As long as there's ketchup and mustard, I'd eat a raw hot dog. I mean, you don't have to cook it.
That, Nate. All right, here we go. By the way, it's the John Curley Show, Aaron.
Yes, yes. I introduced myself. I said I wouldn't.
He's going to adjust. You're going to adjust. We're all going to grow as a community.
Although I will say the informal text poll, people seem to like the names.
Yeah, listen, that's one guy. You can't make it. I love hearing your name.
Yeah.
Aaron Granilla.
Yeah.
What did I call you the first time I...
Adam Gorilla.
That's right.
Yes.
It's kind of a fun thing that I do. I take people's names and screw them up. Kind of my thing.
It's endearing.
It's the curse of the dyslexia. I'm going to blame it on that. I'm blaming it on my genetics. All right, we're waiting for Walsh to get on the line. Let me know when he's ready. Is he ready to go in there? Andrew? What are you doing? Press the button, would you? Come on, you big monkey. Do something in there. Hey, Walsh.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, Jim Walsh. We don't have time for your fight song. But, hey, I want to ask you this. There's a piece in the Seattle Times, and they say, hey, you know what? If the Washington Supreme Court takes a look at this this millionaire's tax, quote-unquote millionaire's tax, and decides, that, income is property, that could have a problem. We might have a problem with capital gains tax, right? The whole
no. Who would have predicted this, John? What a shock.
I
think the Times actually figured this out.
Well, as you know, Jamie Peterson, this is from, public records request, that Peterson in the Senate said, public records. So here's what we get. Peterson says, this is quote, the more important benefit of passing a capital gains tax, this is back in 2020, is on the legal side. From my perspective, the other side will challenge it as an unconstitutional property tax, making it possible. If we succeed, it enacts a progressive income tax for simple majority vote. Then he goes on, adopting a capital gains tax is one of the best things we can do to help advance the possibility of an income tax in our state. Until that happens, it'll take a 2/3 majority legislator plus vote from the people to adopt an income tax. So their thing was, the Trojan horse was the capital gains. Yes, wait, Joe.
So in this Jim Bruner article in the Times, he's actually suggesting that if the initiative if the initiative gets voted to repeal the income tax, that it would by definition automatically repeal basically a capital gains tax.
Walsh, what say you?
Well, I mean, Bruner's screwing it up, as he often gets the details wrong.
Okay.
Here's the piece of it that is valid.
All right.
And this goes around the so-called Quinn ruling.
Yes.
That was the challenge of the capital gains tax a few years ago.
Quinn State 2023. Yes.
Correct. This was the opinion that the state Supreme Court wrote that said, no, capital gains is not an income tax, it's an excise tax.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part of that opinion that most people know. Okay, they found this tricky way to say that the capital gains tax was okay under state law and constitution. There was more in that Quinn ruling from the state Supreme Court. They basically painted themselves into a corner and said if there were ever to be a state income tax, this might make us rethink everything we're saying in Quinn decision. And they were not expecting Peterson to, have no impulse control and immediately try to do a state income tax right away. They were kind of counting on that being kick the can down the road, let the capital gains tax kind of settle in and get established and be there for a few years. But their own language in Quinn acknowledges that the logic they use, the pretzel logic to call it an excise tax, would be much harder to do in a full-blown state income tax, which is what Peterson almost immediately rammed through the legislature. So the state Supreme Court is caught in a corner of its own making with what it said in the Quinn ruling. So now what Brunner's trying to do, and people who don't like the initiative and want to keep state income tax, is they're trying to say that the state income tax repeal initiative does multiple things. That's not true. The initiative only does one thing, and that is it repeals this state income tax created by Senate Bill 6346 and signed nervously into law as quick as he could do it by the current governor. So they're trying to create this narrative that this actually does multiple things, and they're trying to set it up so that when the initiative passes, which it looks like it will, every polling indicates it will pass, they'll make the argument, well, it should be thrown out by the court because it does multiple things. That gets the court off the hook of having to contradict its own ruling in Quinn. The court could say, well, we're going to overturn this repeal. We're going to keep the state income tax, not because of anything we said in Quinn, but because there's a new problem with this initiative. It does multiple things, and it can only do a single subject. As everybody knows, initiatives have a very strict rule. They can only do one thing per initiative. So they're trying to create this narrative that it does multiple things.
Okay, so it's like a domino effect. But the intention of the initiative and what the people are voting for, that is limited to one single action, which is the removal of, quote unquote, the millionaire's tax. That's it. But if it has a domino effect,
call it the millionaire's tax. You know the deal. It's a state income.
I know that. The
millionaire's thing is a scam.
I know, Jim. In fact, you can't see it. Put little scary quotes around. But so then, what you're saying is, then the Supreme Court would say, well, if you remove that, then it also has another effect, which is the capital gains, and you can't have something actually have. You can't have it can't be broadened other than just one single action, because they kick these things out if it ends up having you can't have two or three things on one initiative. Correct. Right? So they're saying
it's a common attack that people make on successful initiatives. They say, well, it does multiple things. You got to throw it out, court.
But it does multiple things unintentionally, passively does multiple things, or is it intentionally doing multiple things? Is that matter, the distinction?
Yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as passively. I mean, the initiative has to be drafted to address one point in the law.
Yes.
And this initiative is drafted to address one point in the law, repeal Senate Bill 6346, repeal the state income tax. And it doesn't even have to say why.
Right.
Like, it's not even raising a constitutional issue the way Rob McKenna's lawsuit is. That's a different thing. The initiative doesn't have to say why. It just says repeal this. Why? Because the people are voting to repeal it. That's it. Repeal it. The whole thing. Go ahead.
I saw in the 1960s, what year it was, the Washington State Supreme Court said when an income tax was brought to them before, they said, we're not even going to rule on this. We've done it before. Basically, stop bringing it to us.
And that's what they should say here. But they don't. The initiative is not. It's not even a lawsuit. It's new law made by the people. The people reserve the right to make law by initiative, and this is what the initiative does. And the new law is repeal this screwed up Frankenstein's monster, cobbled together, 100-page nonsense. Just repeal it. Get it out of there. And that is entirely okay. The initiative doesn't have to offer a reason. It just says repeal it. And that's what it does. Now, does this cause some pretzel logic problems for the state Supreme Court? Maybe. But that's the state Supreme Court's problem.
Right.
That has nothing to do with the initiative. The state Supreme Courts, they were silly in what they wrote in the Quinn opinion because they created a potential problem for themselves. That's their problem.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with the initiative.
So to put it in perspective, so Florida, Alaska, Nevada, Texas, and Wyoming have no state income tax. They also have no capital gains tax. So what they decided to do, the Washington Supreme Court, sort of a Humpty Dumpty, the words mean whatever we want the words to mean, that an excise tax is on what you do. An income tax is on what you make. And the Washington Supreme Court comes along and decides, like, for instance, if you buy alcohol, there's an excise tax on that. That's transactional. So what they're saying is that you had the money in the stock exchange, you put in a sell order, you sold it, so that activity of selling it is considered...
Is what we're taxing.
Is what we're going to tax. We don't see it as income, even though the IRS sees it as income. The Supreme Court was able to sort of find a little noodly way to move through the thing and say, well, no. It was the action of buying or selling, realizing the gains, that itself, we're taxing that action. Like if you were to pay, $50 for a pack of cigarettes in the state of Washington, they tax the excise tax on that sort of thing. So they created this own little thing. Now you're saying if this income tax gets in there, it's going to all of a sudden break this really fragile Humpty Dumpty use of words?
Yeah, but it's even worse than that, John. They could, if they just stopped at saying we consider the capital gains an excise tax, they wouldn't have painted themselves in the corner where they painted themselves. They went on to say other stuff about it that was not even essential to calling it an excise tax. They should have stopped there. Instead, they went on and said, and if you were to pass a state income tax, it would create a tension in our ruling here, so we might have to come back and reconsider this.
Oh.
It's like, why did you guys even say that?
So
it's like,
was it a warning to some
idiot who talks too much about what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop it saying it's an excise tax.
So do you
saying this other stuff?
Do you think the court was publicly just letting Peterson know, stop at this point? Take what you've got, which is the capital gains tax, and if you bring something else before us, it's going to screw everything up. Leave it as it is and just continue to steal people's money that are realizing gains in the state of Washington and calling it an excise tax. Do you think it was a public warning?
Not two ways, yeah. John, that is an optimistic read. I hope they're that subtle. Maybe they are. Maybe I've been wrong for a few years, and they're much more nuanced than I think. I think they just didn't think there was going to be a state income tax so fast in just a few more years. I think they thought, we want to write this decision. I think they were nervous about the pretzel logic they used to come up with the excise tax. So they put all this sort of filigree around it. They put all this stuff around it to kind of say, well, we're being reasonable to do this. And if you were to do X and Y and Z, it might change A and B. That's their problem. That is nothing to do with the current initiative that people are signing and likely to vote on this November. The initiative is clean.
Yeah.
The mess is in the Quinn decision written by the state Supreme Court.
Got it. By the way, I was at signing yesterday, and I signed yours on the voter rolls and ID for that. And I wanted to see if we'll get your opinion. I don't know if you're up to speed, and I'm sure you are, but I don't want to paint you into a corner here. What do you think of the Supreme Court's ruling about when the ballots can be counted? Did you read some of that, Jim?
I read the whole thing. That's called the Watson decision, and this is U.S. Supreme Court, not state Supreme Court.
Right.
It's a 5-4 split that said ballots do not have to be received by Election Day. They can be received later as long as they're postmarked by Election Day. I disagree with it. I agree with the 4, not the 5. The guy who wrote the dissent for the 4 on the 5-4 split was Alito, Justice Alito. And he made what I think is the clearer, stronger argument there that by allowing ballots to be counted if they are not received by Election Day, you are ultimately kind of eroding the constitutional and statutory definition of Election Day. Election Day has a specific legal meaning. And his argument, he wanted to limit ballots to only being counted if they were received on or before Election Day in mail-in voting places. And the majority, the 5, said no, states can continue, which most do, to accept and process and count ballots that are received after Election Day as long as they're postmarked by Election Day.
Yes.
And in the state in question in that U.S. Supreme Court case was Mississippi, where they allow a short grace period. I think it's 3 days. It might be 5 days. And most states do that. They allow what they call a grace period for a postmarked before Election Day or on Election Day ballot to arrive at the election office. Washington, we have 21 days. And that, I believe, is not a secure system. I think if you're talking about a 3-day grace period, that's one thing. 21 days after Election Day is not good public policy.
I thought Jim. I thought it was a fascinating argument made by both sides, and the 5-4 ruling on this. Amy Coney Barrett had basically illustrated the point that at the time when they were passing these laws, okay, so Election Day is going to be bang on that day, on that Tuesday. Nobody ever thought about the fact that another law that they came up with later on is that it has to be on that day because somebody could travel from state to state and vote in other states. The telegraph, when the telegraph was invented, then they said, okay, now we have to really be able to tighten this stuff up because somebody could be reporting on how many votes were counted in some state, and it might suppress the vote, or people might not turn out. So they looked at the broad history of voting in the United States, and they said, yes, so Election Day is that Tuesday, and that's it. But what about people that are out of state or out overseas? What about military? And then what about other ballots that are coming in? Must be included in this thing. But as you said, the dissent pointed out you can get into a lot of hijinks when you have many, many, many days, and then how many ballots are needed in order for somebody to win. And of course, they went back to talk about Florida and the 87 votes that held up the election in those days. So you're still of the mindset, Jim Walsh, that the state of Washington and perhaps the rest of the country should go back to in-person voting?
Well, that's a separate issue. What we're talking in the Watson case and in this current discussion is about how to make mail-in voting more trustworthy and increase people's confidence in it. In a large scheme, would I like to go back to in-person voting? Yes. But we can make mail-in voting more secure and more trustworthy by making reasonable common sense reforms to how we do mail-in voting now. That's the focus now. That's the reason the Watson ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court is important. That's the reason why the Save America Act in Washington, D.C. is important, is it does things that make the voting system as it exists now more secure and more reliable and more inspiring more confidence in people. We have some of the loosest election law in the country here in Washington State. And the progressive left that is for all this loose law says, well, this is because we want to encourage everyone to participate. Voter participation in Washington is on a downward trend.
Yes.
People aren't voting as much as they used to because they've lost confidence in the security of our system. And we need to make reasonable, common sense reforms to mail-in voting so that people can be more confident in it. The conversation about going back to in-person voting is interesting and important, but it's a separate conversation. What we're talking about now is how do we improve the system we've got?
Right.
And that's what I'm focused on.
I know that voter participation is down. That might be one of the elements where they don't feel as if their vote's going to be counted, but there's probably a variety of other things, too, that add to, the voter not wanting to be a part of it. Joe writes, who's coming on for Jim?
Hannah Krieg, your Twitter pal.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There's notorious gossip that Hannah and I are involved with each other. This is not true, John. It is not true.
So you're going to deny that right now? Are you going to quibble over the word
I'm sure
is?
Hannah will deny it even in even stronger language than I did. But,
nothing to do with the word is?
No. Okay. I would never be that stupid as to make that kind of distinction.
Jim Walsh, thanks for coming on at such short notice. Certainly appreciate your time.
It's important stuff, John. Keep on it.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. All right. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. Global Credit Union has the update. Renton, we just cleared that collision north 405 at 30th, but it's left it with a bumper-to-bumper backup into South Center. It's a 50-minute commute from South Center into Bellevue. This has northbound 167 solid from 180th up to 405. South 405, you're packed from mid-Bellevue to our crash scene, and Bellevue to Renton has gone up a bit to 45 minutes. That's a 20-minute delay. Now heading north, Bellevue to Everett, just 40 minutes. Seattle to Everett, only 35. South 5 heading into Seattle is heavy from Ravenna to I-90. It's just under a half hour from Linwood in the downtown. North 5, you're heavy from the north end of Boeing Field now in the downtown. 20 minutes from South Center. And on the water, the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal and the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal, both reporting 1 hour waits for drivers. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, want to consider Aegis Living Respite Care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens? Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi, it's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. Supreme Court rules states can continue to count mail-in ballots that arrive after Election Day. More than a dozen states, including Washington, allow it, as long as those ballots are postmarked by the deadline. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has more.
Today's decision rejects the Republican-led challenge over late-arriving mail-in ballots. President Donald Trump has repeatedly argued that lengthy vote counts are evidence of cheating, but the high court disagreed in a 5-4 decision.
Democratic leaders in the state are claiming victory for all Washington voters. Critics have said counting ballots received days or even weeks after the election erodes public confidence in the system. Meantime, U.S. Supreme Court is set to take up a challenge to Washington's youth shelter law involving gender-affirming care and parental notification. In 2024, a federal judge threw out a lawsuit challenging it. Plaintiffs argued the law violates parents' constitutional rights as well as their religious freedoms. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson is breaking with longtime Democratic lawmakers, endorsing their more progressive challengers in 2 key state races. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports.
On Saturday, Mayor Wilson announced she will be endorsing 2 less experienced but more progressive candidates to replace State Senate Majority Leader Jamie Peterson and longtime state rep Jerry Pollitt. According to the Washington State Standard, Pollitt's opponent, Ron Davis, wants to tax corporations to make everyday life more affordable for the non-wealthy.
I'm running to freeze the rent in public housing, build over 1 million homes, double the buses on the road, and make sure childcare is affordable for every family, and protect our community from Donald Trump.
Social Democrat Hannah Sabio Howell, who's facing Peterson, is calling for more taxes on the rich. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Clock is ticking for anyone who wants to own the Seattle Seahawks. Bloomberg reports first-round bids are due next Monday, July 6th. Sale could top the $6 billion the Washington Commanders fetched in 2023, making it the most expensive team purchase in NFL history. Now to the real-time traffic desk, here's Nate Connors.
All righty, we are struggling in both directions of 405 between Renton and Bellevue due to an earlier crash in North 405 near 30th. That one was just recently cleared, so North 405 remains packed from South Center through the S-curves. South 405, you're bumper to bumper from mid-Bellevue down to 30th. So South Center to Bellevue, 45 minutes, but it's closer to an hour, 55 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. This has northbound 167 jammed up at 180th up to 405. Over to Seattle, South 405, or South 5, is heavy from Lake City Way into downtown. And North 5 now heavy from mid-Boeing Field into downtown. Something must be blocking here, but I haven't had any reports, nor am I seeing anything on the cameras. So I'll try to get to this for our next report. Meanwhile, it's just under a half hour, Linwood to Seattle, South Center to Seattle, closer to 25 minutes now. And in the south end, Seattle to Federal Way is looking great. In fact, pretty much clear. Once you get into Federal Way, though, it gets heavy at South 320th, all the way into Fife, and southbound 167 is heavy from Algona into Puyallup. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Just lots of clouds, looks like this week, with some pockets of morning rain and drizzle tomorrow. And temperatures staying in the mid to upper 60s this week. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News wants to help you keep more of your money. Every day you'll see stores to help you save on big expenses, stories to help you save on big expenses like gas, groceries, and housing. And we're alerting you to new scams so you can protect more of what's yours. When it comes to your wallet, KIRO 7 has your back. Watch weeknights at 4, 5, and 6 and 7 p.m. or see money-saving stories at KIRO7.com/money.
The plaintiff...
Wow. Well said. Well said, well read. Joe, why didn't you say your name at the beginning and the end?
Never mind.
Everybody okay on that one? We were taking on water on that one, weren't we?
I got everything out there.
That was the one that tripped Ella up as well. So I think it might just be something else that's causing the problem.
No, I've nailed that one before.
All right, everybody. Remain seated. No need to panic. KIRO 7, that's all you need to know. Bucky's Auto Service Centers with 16 locations, been around for 51 long years. 51, that's Bucky's. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. Bucky's Auto Service.
Go to Bucky's Auto Service Center.
After you watch KIRO 7.
4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Bucky's.
Go to Bucky's Auto Service Center.
The fix your car, you won't walk up on something like Bob Dylan. Oh, hey, gonna fix your car. A friend of mine went to him the other day, saw Bob Dylan, said it was horrible. Yeah.
It was painful when I saw him in
I'm not done.
2005.
I'm still singing about down there. Sorry about that, everybody.
Oh.
You all right?
Yep.
What were you saying your friends did?
I said it was painful watching him play in 2005, and I'm a big fan.
That's where he changed all, did all harmonies on it. Took all of his, regular stuff and then, changed it all up.
No, he was playing them straight, but he sounded awful. Maybe it was just a bad night, but I don't know.
Now he's doing a bunch of, new things. And come on, Bob, just play the favorites. That's all they want to hear. It's like Van Morrison. You ever been a Van Morrison concert? He is the worst of the worst. All he does is bang out the 12 songs, never looks at the audience, looks down the whole time, and just walks off the stage. I talked to somebody the other day. I said, oh, how's Chris Stapleton? He's great. My friend Joe was telling me, great. He talks to you between each song. His wife's up there. She doesn't want to talk much, but great harmony. Yeah, here's the inspiration of this song. Here's how I came up with it. Here's what I was thinking about. I was going to change this, change that. That's what you want, right? Hurricane Kurt. My God, they killed them all. You know that one? Hurricane?
Oh,
great
yeah.
song. All right.
The Desire album.
How many people have died in France because of the heat waves? What are they up to? 4,000 or something like that? What they said? Yeah, I think. Oh, so in 2003, there's a heat wave, the worst on record, caused the estimated 15,000 deaths in France. Many elderly and in apartments without AC. Summer record 2022, 4,000 heat-related deaths. Right now, France is reporting more than 1,000 deaths from the heat wave. 104 degrees. Over the weekend, they said 1,400 people have died in the last 2 days. And it is basically the fact that France does not like AC. They don't want AC. 25% of France has AC. They see the United States using up energy and using AC. It's destructive for the planet. The part that makes it destructive for the planet is when you turn it on, you got to create enough energy in order to be able to run everybody's AC units. The Le Pen party, the hard right party, says if they get in power, AC for everybody. Vive la France, and no more of these scalding hot temperatures. They said when the buildings were originally designed, big high windows, high ceilings, slate on the roof, and they thought there would be some sort of air circulation enough, but was temperatures soar into the 90s and they were going to be hot for 4 or 5 days, it's unbearable in France. And people are still saying, no, we don't want air conditioning. We want to live and it's so hot, they're considering deodorant. The French are. They're very close to getting deodorant. But it is crazy how they just almost seem they want to hold back on it because they just see it as something that it makes us look like we don't care about the environment.
But they also see it as decadent indulgence by Yankees,
right?
Americans,
right?
Like oversized SUVs and backyard pools.
Well, if some of those French had come to the United States, they could have enjoyed what everybody else seems to be enjoying. The Dutch went to a little bar in Kansas, and they love it. There's a bar there because they're having one of the World Cup matches is there, or you can be from Germany and be like Fred and be amazed by Buc-ee's, not Auto Service Center, although that would amaze many from other countries. There are 16 locations. It has been around for 51 years. But the rest of Europe is coming and realizing, hey, America's not so bad. It's actually pretty cool. And look how big it is. And look how kind everybody is. Because they had been lied to by the press for so long. It's like the story a friend of mine used to live in East Germany. And she said when the wall came down and when she went over to West Germany, she walked into one of the supermarkets and she said, I stood there in the aisle and started to cry. And then I began to hyperventilate and then passed out. And I asked her why. And she said in a thick East German accent that she said we had been lied to for the longest time. Everyone told us that there's nothing that we don't have in East Germany that they have in West Germany. That West Germany is worse than we are. Be happy with the stale bread because they don't have any bread over there. She goes, when I walked into this supermarket, I suddenly realized I had been lied to my entire life. Now, it wasn't quite as bad as that, Europe, talking about the United States. But for people to come over here and they realize, hey, this is a pretty cool country. Look at this. Look at all the stuff they have. You get refills at McDonald's, and they've got air conditioning. Here's a scary thing about France. Out of the hospitals, only 3 out of 30 have AC. So the people that are rolled in there that are suffering from, heat exhaustion, they put cold ice blankets on top of them as they lay in the lobbies on stretchers and gurneys. That's part of healthcare for all. The idea of installing AC for everybody, they just think it would be a horrible thing for the country to succumb to the weaknesses of America. But imagine what it would be like if you didn't have 100 and some degrees, no AC. No AC in this building, no AC in other buildings. There's one story that came out today. I saw it in the American Spectator, that it was a government building in France, and they had AC, but they turned it off on the lower 3 levels, but kept it on up top for the C-suite folks and the bureaucrats. They were, because those guys were higher up and they deserved it because they needed the AC. The rest of you slobs down below that are, proletariat, just sort of, stapling and putting things together and continuing to rob the people of France with your gigantic government.
It's also unusually hot. I mean, it's not, even in Seattle, a lot of people don't have AC here. And I didn't have it, or I didn't get a portable unit for the first 6 years I lived here. And there really wasn't much need to. It was like one weekend a year would be brutal. And then it eventually got a little bit hotter and a little bit longer. And so we finally had to bite the bullet on it. But
more people die from cold or from hot? Question.
Cold.
Question. More people cold or hot, Nate?
The answer is hot.
In Europe, cold kills 363,500 people per year.
What about hot? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Heat or hot, 43,700. That's an 8-to-1 ratio. Cold to hot.
Does that include traffic accidents because of the weather?
Joe, you're not allowed to ask questions like that because I don't have that answer.
Probably, I would imagine. It's a factor.
So more people die from cold in Europe than hot?
Yes, that's correct. Cold kills 363,500.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cold kills.
Thank you, Joe. All right, there. Nate, do you have any traffic for us?
Oh, quite a bit, my man.
Oh, what do you know? Make sure you say your name twice. Here we go.
All right, I'm Nate Connors, and North 5 at the West Seattle Bridge. A collision is on your right shoulder. Drivers are slowing at the scene, and this has created a hefty backup starting in mid-Boeing Field, almost to South Boeing Field, actually, all the way to the Columbia Tower. So South Center to Seattle, we're up to a 25-minute commute. South 5 heavy from Lake City Way to I-90, Linwood to Seattle at a half hour. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, we're wide open on 520, but westbound 90, we're struggling from the Mercer Tunnel to I-5. It's a half hour on I-90. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both at 40 minutes, which is great for this time of day. Everett to Marysville, just under 15. You're thinning out, but we're still off and on crowding between 526 and 529. Down in South Center, northbound 405 remains packed from I-5 up to Sunset Boulevard from an earlier collision. So South Center to Bellevue is a 45-minute trip, 25-minute delay. Coming south, Bellevue to South Center, 55 minutes, also a 25-minute delay. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, we're finally getting some relief at the pump now that things are cooling down a little bit in the Middle East. You know what? That's great. But now we're going to raise the gas tax again here in Washington. It goes up on Wednesday. So do the fines for work zone mobile cameras. It's just getting more expensive as we head to the 4th of July. Details tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
Some parts of the house just don't seem to work anymore. Like the closet that you open it up and you don't even bother looking in there because it's so jam-packed with stuff. Things fall out all the time. Or you can't quite put the car in a two-car garage because one side of the garage is just full of stuff. Same thing can happen in the laundry room. There's just stuff all over the floor. There's no place to store towels or anything. You know what's happened? It's a closet design problem when you think about it. And maybe even gone as far as having to rent some sort of storage unit to put stuff. Maybe because you just need those rooms, those spaces to be better laid out. And that's where the experts at Closets by Design come to the house. And they customize, truly customize. They see the problems that you have, and they fix them for you. You don't pay the big price, though. 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. I can tell you, when they came to the barn in Cle Elum and did the great work, I am a believer in Closets by Design. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. We're having a trade-in sale. You'll save $30 per door and drawer front off the cost of your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600 or heritagehomecraft.com.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No,
Medical
I don't want to
Clinic?
do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explain this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with
Yes.
because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com. You know, Muckleshoot Casino. Resort text line 1-888-973-5476. I think the airlines have always had a problem with the way people are dressing. It gets more and more casual, and then people get upset about it. And I remember the woman wore like a bathing suit, and they told her she wasn't allowed to wear that. So I'm skeptical of this because American Airlines and Delta and Southwest say that they're issuing a stark warning for flyers out there that are going to be wearing shorts, because if you have to jump out of the plane and slide down the big inflatable, what is that thing? The
raft.
It works. It then doubles as a raft. But
right.
first, it's a slide.
Right.
Slide and then turns into a raft. They said as you come down on the thing, if you got shorts on, you get like a nice burn. So they said that's part of the problem is you jump down, a high-speed descent combined with the slide material creates extreme friction, enough to burn exposed skin, including hands. So that's why you're always told to jump out, put your hands across your chest, and then hit the slide. But they're telling people, and I think it's because they just don't want people to wear shorts. Also, they say that the plastic, the material of the slide, apparently has a chemical reaction with pajamas. So you have pajamas on, it'll burst into flames.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
I added that.
Mm.
I'm
trying to find.
What you want? Can we do this? Do you want to do the story about the kid? That's just so awful.
It's pretty bad.
Ugh.
I mean, what?
Skip it. Skip that one.
Do you agree with the
ruling holding the parents responsible?
Yeah, so he was what,
seven-year-old dies,
200 pounds,
255 pounds.
He has a heart, essentially a heart attack.
Parents are being charged with second-degree murder. Well, I'm sure the 7-year-old wasn't going to the store and buying that food. No. I'm sure the 7-year-old wasn't putting that food in the microwave. I'm sure they were making that type of food available. I don't know what their defense was.
Well, and they apparently he didn't have a pediatrician, had never been to the doctor, had never gone to school, but the dad did have full medical coverage and a good job. According
so this
to
is
the
just
prosecutor.
charging. So it's basically neglect, and they point to the weight of the thing. So the kid died of a heart attack, I think.
Basically, yeah. It was
Yeah, there's been cases like that as well when it came up, like the Amish not vaccinating their kids, and I think they went to court on something like that, and I think it was protected by their religion. It was kind of a messy case. That was from a while ago. And then the last one, just sort of a friendly reminder to everybody: if you do go to a concert, you don't have to wear diapers. I don't know where this is coming from, but apparently it is a thing where people, I guess, don't want to miss a single moment of the concert, so they put on diapers, and then they just do what people do when they have diapers on. Can't you just wait when the person says, here's something from our new album? Then you go to the bathroom.
That's a good call.
Not in your pants. Get in line and head on over the stinky porta potties and go there. But
there's a shocking number of people, adults, that will admit to this, which makes me believe that the number of people that won't admit, I would never admit to it if I was wearing an adult diaper.
I think probably it shows a great amount of dedication, and you kind of like to brag about it. At the Times Square during New Year's Eve, people will, because once you get stuck in there, you can't get out of there, and you get your spot, and there's no bathrooms because they blocked off the all of the sidewalks. You're just fenced in. So people just stand there and just relieve themselves into their big diapers and don't feel anything because of it. And in this case, I guess it's Noah Khan. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's asked theater goers, please don't go to the bathroom in your pants.
Well,
oh.
In his case, it was slightly different.
I don't want to tell that story. That's even worse.
Google it if you're curious.
Let's all make a pact that none of us are going to do that. There's going to be no wearing diapers unless we're prescribed it by a doctor. Andrew.
Oh, now I can't use the phone.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You know what?
Art.
It is an art. You're just showing off because you got somebody in there taking your place. You're like, and watch this. I like to throw farts out in every once in a while. Yeah. Nate laughs. All right, here's Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
KIRO Newsradio Traffic Alert.
We've got a traffic alert through Canyon Park, southbound 405 at 527. This one's blocking all your southbound lanes, and already we've got big backups in both directions of 405. North 5 at the West Seattle Bridge, we've got a collision on your right shoulder. Drivers are still slowing at the scene, but that backup is improving. We're now slow from mid-Boeing Field as opposed to South Boeing Field into downtown. South 5, you're heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is going to take you a half hour. Down in South Center, we're still struggling north 405, bumper to bumper from I-5 up to Sunset Boulevard. We may have a new blocking issue here. We just cleared an earlier collision at that spot, but I'm seeing traffic jam up right there at Sunset Boulevard. So right now, South Center to Bellevue is at 35 minutes, which is an improvement, and Bellevue to South Center has improved to 40 minutes. On the water, the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal and the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal, both reporting 1 hour waits for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required, most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com. Your medication for enlarged prostate is working. That's what you tell yourself. You're up 3 times a night instead of 5. The urgency is manageable. The stream's not great, but it's fine. That's the problem. Fine. Enlarged prostate, or BPH, doesn't pause because the medication takes the edge off. The prostate keeps growing. The bladder keeps working harder. And over time, those changes can be harder to reverse. But surgery? Not for you, right? Aquablation is not the surgery you're picturing. It's the only ultrasound-guided, robotic-assisted therapy for enlarged prostate. Don't wait until things become unbearable. Find an Aquablation urologist near you. Call Aquablation Seattle at 206-666-2466. 206-666-2466. That's 206-666-2466. All surgical treatments carry risks and results may vary. Side effects may include urinary symptoms, mild pain, ejaculatory dysfunction, or infection. In rare cases, complications to the urethra and rectum may occur. Aquablation therapy may not be right for everyone. Talk to your urologist to learn more. Visit aquablationseattle.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can, and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. The Supreme Court is expected to hand down a decision this week regarding President Trump's attempt to cancel birthright citizenship. At an earlier press conference today, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries called on the court to guarantee birthright citizenship as a constitutional right.
There's been no doubt about the constitutionality and ironclad nature of the birthright citizenship clause to the United States Constitution, and that should be affirmed.
Scorching heat expected to move across the Midwest and Northeast this week. ABC's Alex Stone.
Numerous wildfires are burning in several western states, fueled by widespread drought and wind. There are now states of emergency declared in Colorado and Utah. Several towns, including Beaver City in southwestern Utah, are now canceling their 4th of July fireworks shows because of the ongoing wildfires. They're calling on people to instead show support for the hardworking firefighters.
This is ABC News. A Marine who went missing while at sea last week has been declared dead.
Lance Corporal Armando Ortiz Canseco was taking part in a training operation aboard the USS Anchorage off the coast of Southern California last week. The 21-year-old was reported missing from the amphibious transport dock ship last Thursday. There was a large-scale search and rescue effort, but he was not found. Now the U.S. Marines are declaring Canseco deceased and are releasing his identity. Canseco enlisted in the Marine Corps in 2023. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In New York, friends and loved ones gathered to remember executive Clive Davis, including Bruce Springsteen, who was signed by Davis to Columbia Records back in 1972.
He guided the listening public towards so much powerful and inspiring music. And he not only loved music, Clive actually loved the people who made the music.
Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
Coming up, a husband now facing charges in the months-old death of his wife. One story we get to after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
All right, this one brought to you by Global Credit Union. We've got this traffic alert going on through Canyon Park at South 405. right at 527. All southbound lanes are blocked, and we've got big backups in both directions of 405. You want to delay that trip in that area if you can for a little bit. South Center and North 405 were bumper to bumper from I-5 to Sunset Boulevard. This is where we have a new stall in your left lane. We had an earlier collision up near 30th that initiated this original backup. South Center to Bellevue, 35 minutes. Coming the other way, Bellevue to South Center at 40. We're thick through Bellevue. You'll thin out after about Cold Creek Parkway. Here in Seattle, North 5 at the West Seattle Bridge, a collision still sits on the right shoulder. It's a distraction, so drivers are slowing at the scene, and your backup starts at Mid-Boeing Field in the downtown. South 5, heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. It's a half-hour trip from Linwood to Seattle. And now we've got a big brush fire down in Pierce County in Lakewood. South 5 is South Tacoma Way. It's up on the hill, and fire crews have 2 southbound lanes of I-5 blocked at the scene. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. The suspect in the murder of a University of Washington student will stay behind bars after being found incompetent to stand trial. KIRO 7 TV's Monique Ming-Lavin has the latest.
31-year-old Christopher Leahy is accused of fatally stabbing 19-year-old Juniper Blessing in her off-campus laundry room. He has now been charged with first-degree murder. He appeared in court remotely from Western State Hospital. The state's doctor supported finding him incompetent, and the judge ordered a 90-day restoration treatment for him. So his next hearing is scheduled for September, where they will evaluate his competency again.
Bellevue police say a 27-year-old woman found unresponsive in her apartment last October was killed. Her husband has now been arrested. King County medical examiner ruled her death a homicide by strangulation. Police spokesman Drew Anderson says detectives re-interviewed the 30-year-old husband last week.
The interview and the evidence that our detectives collected at the scene, we developed probable cause to arrest this individual for homicide.
Suspect has not yet been charged. He's being held on $5 million bail. Seattle police are investigating a string of early morning armed robberies. They believe they are connected. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Police say it all started at 4 a.m. 2 masked men rob a man at gunpoint while he was sitting in his car at Cary Park. Minutes later, the same 2 men are believed to have robbed 2 convenience stores, one on Queen Anne, the other on Beacon Hill. SPD Detective Brian Pritchard.
We think they might be connected because the time, the proximity of the robberies, as well as the 2 suspects had the same similar description.
The suspects are believed to be Hispanic or black men in their 20s, about 6 feet tall with average builds, last seen driving a dark sedan. Anyone with information should call 911. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Ticket prices for this week's World Cup match in Seattle are among the cheapest option in the round of 32. You'll pay about $450 at last check to watch Belgium take on Senegal this Wednesday, according to ticketdata.com. It's down sharply from a peak of more than $1,300 just a week ago. Some other knockout matches, meanwhile, they are still selling for more than $2,000 just to get in. Your forecast now, looking at mostly cloudy skies at this hour and plenty of cloud cover for this week. Highs today in the mid to upper 60s. A slight chance for rain, at least some drizzle tomorrow and again on Wednesday. Right now, 63 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go. All right. I'm not going to say my name because Aaron said his name and it really upsets listeners. Sorry, Aaron. This is what Joe wrote about Hannah Creek. It says, the Jonathan Cho of the left.
Oh.
Oh.
I usually get Brandy Cruz of the left.
Well,
because we're both
put
girls.
on some flip-flops and talk to Joe. And then it says on the Hayward selfie drama, and then you go on and talk about taxing millionaires and your support for Katie Wilson, then not support for Katie Wilson. We read you all the time, by the way, Anna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When you were at The Stranger, we liked some of your work over there as well. But you really, quite a parent and always following up on a whole bunch of stuff. So I just said to Joe, where do you want to start with Hannah? Where do we even begin to have this conversation? So let's talk about Just very quickly, do you have Walsh's? So we just had Jim Walsh on. And you know what he said before he hung up? I said, hey, Hannah's coming on. He said,
There's notorious gossip that Hannah and I are involved with each other. This is not true, John. It is not true.
So you're going to deny that right now? Are you going to quibble over the word
I'm sure Hannah will deny it even in even stronger language than I did.
Can you say right now that there is nothing going on between you and Jim Walsh?
I'm shocked and stunned by this allegation. That's actually crazy. I deny everything. Oh my God, that's crazy.
You seem a little disgusted all of a sudden in your face.
I don't want to be rude.
Come on now. All right, Anna, clean it up, would you? All right, so let's start from the very, very beginning of were you shocked that Katie Wilson won?
Yes, absolutely. I was shocked that Katie Wilson won.
Were you a supporter for Katie?
I think you could say I was a supporter for Katie. I think
would you say you're a supporter for Katie? Were
sure.
You? Yeah.
I think I was, supportive of someone challenging Mayor Bruce Harrell at the time, and I thought she was running an interesting campaign that spoke to a lot of issues people were facing.
Yeah. So then, were you surprised by Bruce Harrell's attempt to sort of run to the left of her at times?
When was that?
Oh, you didn't see that?
When was?
Oh, he would say some kooky stuff. That was even on this show, he said, I said, shoplifting is a very big deal. A lot of people have great concerns about that. What would you do? How do you, remedy this? And he said, well, the store owners should ask the people that are stealing, why are they stealing? They need to have a better idea of why they're stealing. Uh-huh. And then he went on to sort of fill in the blanks on that giant stink bomb. And, of course, we took it, ran with that, put that out, and got a whole bunch of people. And then he got mad and yelled at us. Didn't he, Joe? He got a little upset with us.
Yelled at you.
Okay, we're just trying to soften the blow a little bit. But, that kind of stuff, that's an example of running to the left of Katie, right? And there were other examples as well.
Sure, maybe. I mean, that a rare Bruce Harrell W, I guess. That's a cool thing to say.
Wait, that's a good thing?
I think I remember that, and I remember defending him on Twitter for that comment. I think it's a good comment. I think it shows, we do have to understand why people are repeatedly committing crimes in order to stop crime.
But at what point is the question asked? As the person's running out the door with a fifth of vodka, do you ask him at that point, why are you stealing? Or do you ask them when they're in handcuffs?
I would prefer you could ask them anytime, but I don't know if handcuffs would make them more ready to answer that question or more equipped to answer that question.
Because that was my response to him was, well, I think they're only there to sell toothpaste and conditioner. And he said, well, no, they should ask them. I said, but should they ask them as they're running out the door? Hey, why are you stealing? I mean, is that, we're just sort of quibbling over when do you actually ask that question?
Yeah. Well, I think it's all about being preventative, right? And it seems that jail and, arresting people and throwing them into jail over and over again has not stopped these repeat offenders that you're worried about.
Right.
So
we agree that we know why they're stealing.
Poverty? Why do you think they're stealing?
Well, they're stealing for poverty.
Okay, what do you think they're stealing for?
Well, they need $10 or $20 in order to buy drugs.
Maybe so, but they're stealing for economic reasons.
Right, because the economic reasons is take something off the shelf and sell it on the street and make $10 as opposed to, doing anything else because they have to feed their habit. I guess we're just trying to figure out when it comes to homelessness, is it a affordability issue or is it a drug issue? What do you think?
I think it's certainly an affordability issue. And then when you're out on the streets and it's cold in Seattle, there may be times where you turn to illegal drugs. There are times that people who are housed turn to illegal drugs, and
sure.
Maybe they don't have to steal to feed their habits. I don't know when's the last time you had a sip of alcohol, Mr. Curley.
Well, hold on, I put something in your water.
It feels like that might be the time of the show.
I guess so. Let's go back to Katie for a second. So you're a supporter for Katie. Are you surprised that of the current sort of dust up that's happening all around her? Do you sense that the learning curve is very, very steep and she's having trouble getting her footing? Or how would you describe her last, 6 months in there?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's really, and now I think has a really strained relationship with her base. You see the very advocacy group that she founded is, speaking against her at times. The woman who swore her into office is saying that this isn't the Katie she knows.
Right.
And, the woman who ran her field operation also speaking publicly against her and lobbying against her in many ways and in loud ways. So I think, it's been a crazy 6-7 months.
Yeah, you didn't coin the phrase "Shady Katie," but occasionally, do you throw that out there a few times that people are saying that about her?
I have not called her Shady Katie yet.
Okay.
I think it's fun to have a nickname though. And
Do you have one, Hannah?
No, I don't.
Other than Jim Walsh's side piece?
Okay. Interesting. I see why you don't have very many women on this show.
I identify as a woman.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that okay?
Sounds fine to me.
Does it?
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, good. Anybody else want to identify as a woman? Andrew?
I'm fine.
Okay, fine. So Katie, we had her on. I endorsed her.
Mm-hmm.
Because I said I want to see socialism work without murdering 100 million people. And I also said to put the bullfrog in the hot water rather than the slow socialism. Go all in with all of your efforts, redistribute wealth, provide everything for everybody, and everything will be hunky-dory. It's failed everywhere else, but let's see you really make this thing work. So I think I was up on her website for 2 days till they took it down. And she's been on a couple of times. And I said to her, people give me a hard time about that. I said, she's not dumb.
Mm-hmm.
She is not dumb. She's ignorant to things, but she's willing to learn. But she has a very interesting point of view as to the function of government and then also the expansiveness of society becoming. I read one of her father's books about. He's an evolutionary biologist. He believes that we are evolving to a point that we don't have to have a dog-eat-dog world. We don't have to be in a competitive sort of capitalistic world where I'm trying to beat you, get more profits, and then I win and you lose. That we've evolved as a species so that we could all participate together and take care of one another. And do you share that same sort of point of view?
I have not read his book, so
I know.
don't
Would you share with that? You don't need. I'm just giving you the cliff notes on the thing. But do you believe that we as a species have evolved to the place where we can all sort of communally take care of each other as opposed to a capitalist society?
I think that sounds lovely. I don't know if the evolutionary aspect of it is resonant with me.
Yeah.
I don't know about the evolution.
Would you
part.
want to get to that? Or do you believe we're closer to that world? Take the biology out of it. Just generally, do you think we could all sort of in a sort of the warm embrace of socialism, as Mondani said? Do you think our society could proffer that way and could continue that way?
Sure, why not? I think it seems like that's a lot of people are looking in that direction and have a lot of interest in the government doing more for us all. So.
Yeah. Where are you on the millionaires tax? Because I've been reading a lot about what you're writing in there.
I'm in support of it. I don't think I've said I'm in support of it, but
no, you haven't. You just reported on both sides of it.
Yeah, I would support the millionaires tax. I plan to vote no on the initiative to repeal it.
Okay, because you would like to see the rich pay their quote fair share.
I would like to see people like me pay less in taxes, and I appreciate a lot of the tax breaks that are worked into that, including sales tax repeals on diapers. And I think that we live in the second most regressive tax code in the country, and it's about time that Olympia stop balancing their budgets on the backs of working people and tax the people who can really afford to shoulder that burden instead.
And then when somebody says, well, then, Hannah, they leave.
Do they?
Do they?
Do they?
What evidence
do
do
you
you
want?
want?
The Seattle Times just wrote a story that the Capitol flight is kind of overblown recently.
Okay. Well, so what metrics would you need to look to determine whether or not they've left or they're leaving?
Well, I'd want to look to how much these taxes are raising year after year. It looks like Jumpstart continues to raise money in Seattle, which is evident that it's not a huge deterrent.
Well, you also know as a journalist, you cover the other side, which is you can see how Bellevue is actually benefiting from Seattle's Jumpstart tax, right? It's the basic economics of if you raise the price of something, or if you tax something, you get less of it. That's why they tax cigarettes and alcohol and marijuana, unfortunately. So they tax it high to stop people from using it. And once you tax it high enough, people stop. So the same thing with income. Income gets taxed high enough, people either stop generating it or stop generating where they're generating it.
Right. Where is a better place than Washington when it comes to income taxes?
Yeah, I have to say that it's certainly not fair that it is on the sales tax. But if you look at how much money the state of Washington raises consistently year after year after year, you look at 2020 when they had a record revenue, but they still continue to spend. So it always gets down to the question of, is it a spending problem or is it a revenue problem, right? And a lot of people that look at it, whether Democrat or Republican, say, boy, they certainly spend a whole lot and they certainly take in a whole lot. And they keep saying they need more and more as they get bigger and bigger. Do you, as somebody who wants to see more people pay, or a smaller section of like 10% or 5% of the rich pay more in taxes, do you think, could you make an argument that the money is well spent?
That the money is well spent. I mean, I think that it's good to spend money on public schools. We ought to have roads for us to drive.
Sure.
We ought to have social services. I think there's always, I mean, you can point to any number of inefficiencies that could also be worked out. We obviously don't live in a perfect system. I don't think that just because there are times when maybe we're not spending every dollar as well as we could, you know, in the city of Seattle, we're spending exorbitant amount of money on police overtime and carceral systems that have not proven to work. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have, you know, we shouldn't be trying to fund things. We can also make cuts that are smart, and we also probably need more money overall.
You were a student at University of Washington. How have you seen the city change over the years? How long have you lived here?
I've lived here for 8 years.
8 years. What have you noticed the changes in Seattle in the last 8 years? As a smart journalist that sort of keep your eye on not only the data, but just generally the mood or vibe of the city.
The mood or vibe of the city?
Or the data, whichever way you want to attack that question.
The mood or vibe of the city, I think, I mean, it's hard to even remember, I mean, pre-pandemic 2018, right? I think a lot has changed, and also kind of is the same.
It's the same. Right.
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
Well, no, I just if you for the last 8 years, how has it changed? And do you like the direction of Seattle?
I love Seattle very much. And
do you like the direction? Do you think it's going up, down? As Eric Johnson said, Seattle is dying.
I do not believe Seattle is dying.
No?
I don't think
How's its health right now?
I don't know. You see how many people have been enjoying the FIFA World Cup.
That's true.
You see all the, you know, tourists saying that Seattle is the best U.S. city. I think they probably have a strong argument for that. It's a beautiful place to live, lots to do, good buses, cleanest air, best water I've ever tasted.
Have you ever tasted New York City water?
No, and I probably wouldn't.
Oh, that's the best water.
That's the best water?
It's crazy. Look it up, Joe. It is by far, people always say New York City water is the best tasting water. And
no, they don't.
Yeah. Hannah,
are you serious?
I'm not kidding you. Plus, that's also why the New York City pizza is so much better than any other pizza.
Because they have good water?
Yes, because it's all about the water in the dough. Joe will let you know.
Huh.
Yes,
okay.
No? Yes, no?
I'm a Seattle water supremacist, so.
Oh, here we go. Water. We're going round and round.
Yeah, looks like Google's with Hannah. I also love our water.
Okay, we're not talking about the water
Google's
right now. We're talking about, okay. But you are counter to what everyone, or not everyone, that's not. You are counter to what a lot of people are saying about the city of Seattle, that it's going downhill, that the vacancy rate is high, that people are moving to Bellevue, that the rich are moving out, that things are in trouble. Mm-hmm. It's a small dumpster fire right now, soon to be a large dumpster fire. But you look at it like, no, you're okay with the way things are going.
I'm having a good time. Are you not happy where you're living? Why are you here?
I don't live
I'm confused.
Here. I don't live here.
So why are you talking about it? Where do you live?
It's by Cleellum.
Cleellum, okay.
Have you been there?
I've passed through.
You got great water.
They have great water?
You've passed through like everybody else on your way to Leavenworth?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you should do more than just pass on through.
By the way, New York City is rated the best tap water.
Really? Okay, take it back when I said I'm not drinking their water.
Back to the idea of the taxing of the rich, and then having them pay their fair share, because obviously they take advantage of the fact that we don't have an income tax in the state of Washington, and that's why Bezos and that's why a lot of people set up businesses here, because they realize, hey, I can keep more of the money and I can use that for capital to reinvest, and there's an advantage of going to a place that doesn't have an income tax, right? But they've structured it in such a way that then the sales tax hits everybody. A greater percentage of your income goes to pay the sales tax. The question is always then, why don't you actually reduce the size, the amount that you're taking of people? They haven't given us a tax break on anyone. They haven't reduced the sales tax. And I looked at what they're going to give you back if this millionaire's tax goes through. It's pretty much pittance. I think it's $9 a year on shampoo and I think it's $11 for mouthwash. And my adult diaper budget is not that high that I'm going to get that big of a break. Do you care that much about the things they're going to be giving you back?
I would like to save some money on some shampoo. That seems fine. These seems like good things to get rid of sales tax for. I don't know. I don't think you should pay sales tax on a diaper. That seems fine.
You're coming down strong, Hannah. Well, how about on the income tax? The question is, people will stay or leave. Like, for instance, you'll go somewhere to save money to buy something that's cheaper. Why do you think that the people that are making a lot of money in the state of Washington wouldn't leave?
It's a beautiful place to live. A lot of people have a lot of reasons to be here, and I think that state lawmakers should have some faith in the overall vibe of Washington, the beautiful nature, a lot of reasons why people come here. We're going to be the best place to live in the climate catastrophe.
Is that coming soon too?
Not sure.
Okay.
Could be here.
How do you end up you were at The Stranger for a while, then you decided to break away, get on your own. How's it going for you? You have 28,000 followers. What have you learned about running your own business like
28,000 followers on what? TikTok?
Is that TikTok?
Instagram's like
Instagram?
50, right?
I'm 28. Come on, give me a break.
Sorry about that. How's that going, running that business?
It's going good.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
And how do you get paid?
How do I get paid? I'm sponsored by my readers.
Right.
I have a Ko-Fi.
Oh, Ko-Fi.
Like Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Ko-Fi, those are the guys that, where were they when they set that thing up? Were they ever in England? I think they were. I think two guys started that whole thing. That's an interesting question as to, that was big business that actually helped them, that got that thing going. So you do benefit from some capitalist somewhere, right?
I'm a small business owner. I wouldn't say I don't benefit from from commerce.
Do you actually, what if you become a millionaire? Would you be more likely, would you want to?
I would love to pay the millionaire's tax.
You would?
I would love to. When I become a millionaire, I probably won't be paying the millionaire's tax because it's actually a tax on income over $1 million. And so that's a hugely high bar.
Right.
And then it's when you do $1, you get $1 over, then you get taxed. So,
right. So you make $1 million, and then let's say you make $2 million, Hannah, because your appearance on this show and your defense for Seattle Water just skyrockets the amount of followers you have. So now you're making $2 million, right? So then they're going to take 9.9%. So they're going to take 10% of every dollar over the million, and you would gladly send that in.
Yes.
Hmm.
I already gladly pay 10% on sales tax,
yes.
And that hasn't stopped me from consuming and buying. And so I think...
But you have no choice in that, do you? You have to pay the sales tax.
Sure.
Right.
But I could move somewhere else and pay less sales tax
yes.
via your argument.
Right.
But I'm not going to do that because I enjoy Seattle and I love Washington.
Right. I just think it's interesting that people would be willing to pay more in taxes. I would if I felt as if it was well used. I have no problem paying. The thing that irritates...
What programs don't you like that you don't think it's well used on?
Oh, there's a variety of them. We could go into a whole bunch of those.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Well, then we have to pay some bills. You okay with that? Hang on a second. This portion of the John Curley Show brought to you by Seattle Water. Now, here's Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
KIRO Newsradio Traffic Alert.
All right, it's our third one of the afternoon, and this one up in Marysville. A collision north 5 at 116th Street was blocking the entire freeway for about 10 minutes. We just moved this all over to your right shoulder, so you've got this hefty backup starting near the Steamboat Slough. That's a 5-mile parking lot. Everett to Arlington just jumped to a 55-minute drive. That's almost a 40-minute delay. We're still dealing with our traffic alert south 405 in Canyon Park at 527. All your lanes are blocked here. You're just squeezing by on the far right shoulder, and southbound you're backed up bumper to bumper into Alderwood. North 405 is bumper to bumper from about 132nd in Totem Lake to the seam. Down in South Center, North 405, we're still solid from I-5 up to Sunset Boulevard, where we just cleared an earlier stall. North 5 through Seattle slows from Mid-Boeing Field in the downtown. South 5 heavy from 80th to I-90. South 5 at the Fife Curve, that right lane blocked from a disabled vehicle, which is getting hooked to a tow as we speak. And in Lakewood, South 5 is South Tacoma Way. 2 right lanes remain blocked by fire crews who just wrapped up putting out a brush fire, so this should be cleared up shortly. Tacoma to Olympia will take you 35 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
A political shakeup for Democrats that represents Seattle.
Traffic.
Right now, Auburn to Renton at 25 minutes. That's a good 10-minute delay.
Conversation.
3 people on the floor can't cover 20 aisles of plexiglass. They're doing their best. It just doesn't work.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
And the party begins.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life's sleep.
At the Boy Scouts of America, our oath remains. A Scout pledges to be kind, helpful, and brave. We're committed to providing a safe and welcoming environment where Scouts can establish the foundations of character that will last a lifetime. Our approach ensures the Boy Scouts of America is building the youth of today into the leaders we'll turn to tomorrow. The Boy Scouts of America. Building character is in our nature. Visit scouting.org to learn more about Scouting.
Hey, Dad, have you heard the news from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services?
No, I haven't.
Eggs have climbed higher than ever on the new food pyramid, and that's great news for anyone who loves starting the day strong.
Well, at Wilcox Family Farms, we make it easy with our ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs. They're delicious, protein-packed snack you can grab on the go, now ranked higher than ever.
Wilcox Family Farms, locally fresh since 1909.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. A 5-4 decision today by the U.S. Supreme Court says states can count ballots that arrive after Election Day if they are postmarked on time. Washington allows a 21-day grace period, and State GOP Chair and Representative Jim Walsh tells KIRO Radio's John Curley that is fueling voter distrust.
And we need to make reasonable, common-sense reforms to mail-in voting so that people can be more confident in it.
Supporters of the ruling say it protects voters whose ballots are delayed through no fault of their own. Secretary of State Steve Hobbs is a longtime military member with 2 sons currently serving. He says the ruling is especially important for service members.
I have voted overseas. My son has voted overseas. So, yeah, it's very important to have your voice. You know, if you're defending your country, serving your country, you should be able to have a voice in your country as well.
Hobbs says the fight is not over as President Trump is still pushing the Save America Act. It would require proof of U.S. citizenship to register and would limit mail-in voting. U.S. Supreme Court announced today it will hear a case over a Washington law that allows shelters to help teens access gender-affirming or reproductive care without immediate parental notice. KIRO Newsradio's Frank Lindsay explains.
The plaintiffs say the law violates parents' constitutional rights to direct the care and upbringing of their children, as well as their religious freedoms, due process, free speech, and equal protection rights. In 2024, a federal judge dismissed their lawsuit, saying they failed to show concrete harm from the law. And the state attorney general's office tells KIRO News Radio, quote, "We will be prepared to successfully defend it at the Supreme Court." Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A presidential visit could be in the works for Seattle if the men's national soccer team advances in the World Cup. Seattle Times now reporting King County International Airport is alerting businesses about a possible presidential flight restriction on July 6th. That's the date of Seattle's round of 16 match. First, the U.S. has to get past Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday. No confirmation yet from the White House. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's start you up in Marysville. North 5 and 116th Street. This crash is now blocking the right lane. It had all lanes blocked for a while. Then they shoved it off to the shoulder. And now we're back to blocking your right lane. So your bumper-to-bumper backup starts at the Steamboat Slough there heading into Marysville. That's a 5-mile solid backup. Everett to Arlington is taking 55 minutes. We've still got an ongoing traffic alert in Canyon Park, South 405 at 527. Looks like they opened up the far right lane, and you're stacked up bumper to bumper into Alderwood. North 405 bumper to bumper from 132nd and Totem Lake to the scene. Linwood to Bellevue and Bellevue to Linwood, both at 50 minutes. Here in Seattle, North 5, you're going to start to slow at Mid-Boeing Field into downtown. South 5 is jam-packed from 80th to I-90. South 5 at the Fife Curve, that right lane is still blocked from this stall, but it's on the tow truck, so this should be clearing at any moment. And we've still got 2 lanes blocked in Lakewood. South 5 is South Tacoma Way from fire crews battling a brush fire. You're slow from State Route 16. Tacoma to Olympia is inched up to a 40-minute commute. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to your forecasts. Cloudy skies for tonight, and it's pretty much cloudy all week long with a slight chance for some light rain on Wednesday and again Thursday. And highs today in the mid-60s. Right now, 64 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. Spin the wheel quickly, teeny, to stop it, and lands on me. I'll have scrambled eggs with a little bit of milk. You mix them all up and you eat them and put some cheese on it. There it is, official Wilcox Family Farm Eggs recipe. Hannah, I had to speed that up just for you. By the way, your Powermore just wrote. He writes, "Ask Hannah." Hannah Krieg, by the way, joining us from. What's your official title? You are you're the face of the burner.
Yes.
Face of the burner, Seattle.
That's me.
But it's not the face of the burner.
No, I don't. That
She'll
might be
put
just
that
your
in there.
copy.
Yeah,
That's you.
CEO,
CEO,
owner, president,
yeah, exactly.
star.
The chairman.
The thorn in the side of Washington conservatives on Twitter.
That's true.
I certainly am.
Okay.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
You are the Jonathan Cho, but with not open-toed shoes. Yeah. From Jim Walsh, is Katie Wilson's endorsement of Jamie Peterson's opponent going to hurt Peterson or help him?
Oh, that's interesting.
That's from Jim Walsh.
Wow, actually interesting question from Jim Walsh. Yeah, that was a really, I was shocked to see that endorsement. I had heard that there was some effort from, Big Labor to try to get Ms. Wilson to weigh in on that race in the other direction and endorse Mr. Peterson. Obviously, that didn't go that way. I don't know if it's going to help or hurt Sabio Howell, if it really matters. I saw the reaction on Instagram from her supporters. Basically, they seemed pretty excited about it. I think it's it's legitimizing for someone who's a challenger in general to get a big name endorsement, even though I would say Wilson is somewhat not necessarily a standard bearer for the left right now. And
you don't think she is?
I would think that there are people on the left who are really unhappy with Wilson's performance.
What do they want?
I think they want quicker, more decisive action on a number of issues, including the surveillance cameras. I think really hurt trust with some of her supporters. And then I think people are not happy with the continuation of sweeps of unhoused people and other things in her base. But I also think her base is quite happy with how she's approached transit, new bus lane on Denny, and then I think there's a lot of people who are happy that she's going to increase service.
If Seattle moves further to the left, if that's possible, right? What does it gain and what does it lose?
What does it gain and what does it lose? Where do you want to move further on the left? It's kind of a broad question. In what area?
Well, if she could put the foot down on the gas pedal and increase taxes. Let's say she's getting a little soft on some of that stuff. She starts to realize about people moving away or moving into Bellevue. But if you were to increase taxes to close the loop on this stuff, continue to expand government, which would be free, quote unquote, free childcare, building more government housing, just go all in on this stuff. That would be better for Seattle, obviously. And what would be the downside of all of that?
It could be really good for Seattle to have free childcare and.
Is it free?
Well, sure. So government subsidized childcare, tax funded childcare. That I think could, really help make sure that all the kids in Seattle are getting a good foundation. And so I think that's pretty much a net positive. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I do. I can't imagine anything that the government would touch that wouldn't make the cost of childcare go up.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a couple of things that had to be in place. One, you get the union out of childcare. Two, you reduce
You want to get the union out of childcare? You don't think that childcare workers should be unionized, should have collective bargaining rights and should have good working conditions? That seems unfair.
I think if you want the cost of something to go down, you get the government away from it. Anything the government's involved in, the cost of it goes up. But if you were to say, for instance, if you reduced, when they set these things up, they set these laws up for the sort of the more elite educated, which is, okay, for every one kid or every three kids, we're going to have one, person watching. Well, if you had, for every 5 kids, you had one person watching. If you just change the ratio, you can save like 20%. But they're established for more highly educated people that, demand different standards. If they were to simply make a few adjustments on the thing.
You're talking about ratios inside the union
like
contracts?
ratios and stuff, and
Set by union contracts?
Yeah.
And you think that's an issue? It seems like the workers would know that, like, how much work it takes to, care for a child. And
right.
I think that if you're saying that everything government touches is like bad or whatever, it's like, I think it's good to have high quality childcare. And I think the union probably has a pretty good idea of what it takes to, care for children. And it takes a lot of, certainly a bunch of workers who are caring for children don't know how to care for children.
Yeah.
When's the last time you worked in a daycare, Mr. Curley?
My mom ran a daycare preschool in Gladwin, Pennsylvania. Now, this was different because there was a pretty long waiting list for it. The people had to pay for it. But I do know that if they were to loosen things up and allow the customer to determine what the ratio would be, and if you also allowed, for instance, not to have things like, why does the person have to have like a college degree in order to watch a bunch of infants?
That seems fine.
But to put that
require a college degree.
Right, but to have it, you could make it voluntarily. That if you had 100 daycare centers. And you said the person could go, well, what's your ratio? Well, ratio is 1 to 5. Oh, our ratio is 1 to 3. Is the main person, do they have a college degree and like a bunch of other credits? Yes, they do. Okay, so that person says, I like this one. And the other person goes, the person having a college degree is not important to me, and I don't mind 1 to 5 ratio, and I'm okay with that. If you had more choices and you got the government out of it, then you would actually allow the market to determine the best value, and the person would determine their best value by what they would like to have for their kid. But when the government comes in and starts to say, everyone must have this, this, and this, it closes out competition, makes it harder for daycare centers to operate, and then you get the union in there in order to continue to have union support. I think it just drives up the cost. But that's just a matter of, regulations that are in place. The state of Washington is very high cost for healthcare, for childcare, compared to some other states as well. If you let it up to the parents, if you assume that the parents know best as opposed to somebody in Olympia, the parent could make the decision, that's best for my kid, this is best for my kid. It's the difference. Do I want to drive this car or that car? If this goes from point A to point B and it doesn't have all the additional features, but it gets me where I need to go, I'll choose that car. Same thing when it comes to something else. I would just like to have more choices as opposed to regulation that clamps down choices. And choices is what opens the market and allows the prices to fluctuate.
And do you think that having like subsidized childcare programs means that there won't be private childcare programs?
Well,
it does. Proposal you're talking about?
It does crowd out, but I'm okay with subsidizing for those people that can't afford it, as long as the true metrics are in place and determine the real how much they really make. There's that,
you just want to means test it, make sure they're jumping through a bunch of hoops to prove that you want it to make it harder for them to access.
Well, the hoops themselves are created by the government,
right?
But to look at that somebody's income and then determining, I don't like the idea of universal. Why somebody who's making $225,000? Why are they getting free child care?
Well, I think that it's important to have cross-class programming. You don't want to concentrate a bunch of any one kind of person in one place. You want people to grow up surrounded by people of different backgrounds. And so that's kind of the idea with the social housing model, for example, beyond just like it does actually subsidize in that case. And it is important that, you're surrounded by people of all different backgrounds. I think
Who makes that choice?
Who makes that choice?
Who makes the choice?
In what?
Who makes the choice to be surrounded by different people of various income levels?
I think we don't actually have a ton of choice about that because we are so economically segregated. So
right.
I don't.
Well, why do they segregate?
Who's they?
Anyone that, you take somebody who is elected official, but they send their kids to public school. They don't send their kids to public school. They send their kids to a private school. They make the choice, right?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it as long as the people get a chance to make a choice. If somebody says, I want my kid to be exposed, like, for instance, my sister and her husband make a lot of money, and they could have easily sent their kids in North Jersey. They could have sent their kids some super duper private school. And they said, no, the kids said, we want to go to the school right down the street. And it was some tough kids there, wild mix. Certainly probably no one in that school had as much money as my sister and her brother, her husband. Mm-hmm. But they sent them there because they thought it'd be good for them. And that was the choice that they made. But it's always leave the individual up to make the decision. You say it's good for people to, interact with people of various incomes. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. But it should be the choice of the individual. Do I want my kid to interact or do I not want my kid to interact?
I imagine that people will have to apply for these child care programs. I don't think anyone's being forced into city-run child programs that Katie Wilson has not started and has not proposed.
Right. But if I'm running one in mind, I'm now competing against the government. If the government is subsidizing, when more people go to something that's quote-unquote free than to mine, right? So then all of a sudden, if I want to be on the gravy train of the quote-unquote free, I'm going to have to then, fill in all the boxes and everything else. And as you say, jump to the hoops that the other ones are. So you would drive out the competition from the private, and you would have all of this basically be public-run childcare. And I just don't agree with anything that.
Well, you're saying that there's all these people who want all these choices. Why wouldn't there then be a market for the private ones to have all whatever weird childcare you want that's different than me and Katie Wilson's childcare program we're making right now?
Because in the state of Washington, they regulate a whole bunch of stuff, and they don't actually create the open choices in other childcare. They make you have a ratio that is high. They make you make sure that the kids.
Seems different seems separate from the issue of universal health care that you're upset about these regulations that keep children safe.
Well, no, there's regulations. You're conflating the two. Keeping kids safe, that's fine. I'm just saying they have high standards that they put in place that.
And God forbid.
Well, if somebody might be okay with a 1-to-4 ratio as opposed to a 1-to-3 ratio, right? But they don't have those choices because the government's basically regulating all these child care systems.
Do you want to let childcare open with a 1-to-10 ratio? I don't understand. There needs to be a line, don't you think?
Do you think
Next, they're going to make us have a license for a toaster. What are you talking about?
If a parent wants to go to a 1-to-10 and then have some of those people that are working there also be wolves, to be raised by wolves, as my brother and I were, then it would be okay.
Okay. As long as I'm understanding.
If it was a 1-to-10 or 1-to-20, I don't think they'd be in business very long.
Oh, okay.
But if they
let the market decide.
Sweet. All right, let's go to Nate. Perfectly said, Hannah.
Perfectly said.
That's exactly right. Here's Nate checking traffic.
Thanks, John. KIRO Newsradio App has the update. All right, Marysville, North 5 and 116th. A crash is blocking the right lane. You're bumper to bumper at the Union Slough. That's a 5-mile backup in Everett to Arlington. Just climbed a 1-hour drive, a 45-minute delay. Over to Canyon Park, South 405. We're getting some improvement here at 527. This collision involving 2 FedEx vans now blocks just the left lane. So South 5, we're still backed up in Alderwood. North 405, bumper to bumper now from 124th and Totem Lake. And it's still about 50 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue and Bellevue to Linwood. South 5 to Seattle, heavy now from 85th to I-90. That's a bumper-to-bumper backup, and it's 40 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton is a half-hour trip. Lakewood, South 5 is South Tacoma Way. Fire crews are still blocking the 2 right lanes as they douse a brush fire. Your backup starts at the mall, Tacoma to Olympia at 50 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, looking good now at a half hour. Text the app to 888-973-5476 and download the KIRO News Radio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, we're finally getting some relief at the pump now that things are cooling down a little bit in the Middle East. You know what? That's great. But now we're going to raise the gas tax again here in Washington. It goes up on Wednesday. So do the fines for work zone mobile cameras. It's just getting more expensive as we head to the 4th of July. Details tomorrow morning on Seattle's Morning News.
Get all of Sully's Choke Points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic, take the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
Not all heroes wear capes. Some carry groceries, prepare meals, or simply hold a hand. Caregivers are the everyday heroes who keep our communities strong. Right now, Washington needs more of these heroes. People like you, ready to make a difference in someone's life. Caregiver Careers Washington offers online resources and guidance to help you get trained and start your caregiving career. Become a hero not just to the person you care for, but to their family and their community. Visit caregivercareerswa.com today.
Sponsored by DSHS and aired by the WSAB and this station.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
I'll go without you, Joe. Jim Walsh says hi. All right, here we go. No song. Get the letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Thanks, Hannah Creek, for coming by. You can follow Hannah and the great work that she does. She is, of course, was our guest there for double holdover there, Joe. Get Hannah with the burner, Seattle.
Correct.
Get the,
Go down 3.
Here we go. Take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, hey, guys, let's have fun today. Did I hear you say the United States throws crappy parties? I beg your pardon, sir. We've been planning this for 250 years. Well, I never.
Elliot from Around the Bay says, why does Andrew have 2 assistants?
It's a really hard job in here sometimes, Nate Connor.
Tina in the 425 says, oh, that's from yesterday. America 250. Rick from Bothell says, John, I don't cry during the Pledge of Allegiance, but I weep for God Bless the USA.
That's a good one. David, the naked mailbags guy, says, hilarious. I love his dad's stories. Love, love, love. Well, thank you, naked.
Jamestown and Eastlake says, instead of George the Star, why couldn't we get Blue the Colt? I know it's not Blitz. Maybe we could have Blitz swoop in and pie him in the face.
Wow. Fernando in Seattle says, hey, wait, Aaron just introduced himself. I know it's a hard habit to break for him.
Rudy in Seattle says, too much freedom, JC quote of the day.
Oh, I remember saying that. Listen up, you name out cuers.
Listeners upset about name out cuers.
Right. Christopher in the Mountain Lake Terrace says, I like you guys saying your name, exclamation point.
And in the 360 says, I turned the radio down for one particular ad. You know the one. Not yours, by the way, John. Those ads have been on so long, that kid is probably a grandfather by now.
This is BS. Keep it the same. Use SOC.
Standard out cue. 253, yes, please say your names. It's radio. We can't see your faces, and it's fun to picture what you look like based on your voices.
Tina, the 425, says, Aaron and Nate, say your names over and over.
All right, the rest
I can't get enough.
We're going to skip down to Walsh on the income tax. Bill in Lake Stephen says, guarantee they will find a way to throw it out 100%, take it to the bank.
Becky in Everett says, I lost confidence in voting when I had to check on the back of my envelope if I'm a Republican or Democrat.
206, let's talk about the real issue here. We sign the envelope, not the ballot. Let's sign the ballot, and then every vote counts, and no difference between envelopes and ballots. Sign the envelope and not the ballot. Make it make sense. There's way too much opportunity for fraud.
Roust about the fun. A fine is a tax for doing wrong, and a tax is a fine for doing well.
Hannah Creed.
Wow, that's deep.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, is this called the politics make strange bedfellows?
Sure. Kendall in the 360, so homelessness is 99.9% a drug issue. I say that very confidently as a former drug addict.
Jamie in Seattle says, yes, companies are leaving. I have 400 clients in Seattle, and so far 75 people who own businesses left Seattle.
Tacoma Ray says, I can't tell whether this is a bit or not.
Ivan and
That's a good sign then.
Yeah. Ivan and Edmund says, wow, she lived here for 8 whole years. Too bad she didn't see it the 20 years before the whack job screwed it up.
Grandma and Paulsbo have Walsh debate her. And okay, fine. What's letter of the day?
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Hee-haw Heron's swinging in with this one. He says, come on, John. Prove to your listeners that longevity works. Recite the Pledge of Allegiance live on air without shedding a tear. I bet you can't do it. You're going to cry like a little girl getting her ear pierced.
God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all.
I guess that counts.
Thank you, Longevity Medical Clinic.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote.
Way to try to test me, hee-haw. You better get up pretty early in the morning to catch me crying.
How about the preamble to the Constitution next time?
All right, I can do that. All right. No tears. Yep. And I'll do it. First lyric of Seasons in the Sun. Boom. Terry Jacks.
Season in the Sun.
Okay. Just Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
Marysville, North 5 and 116th Street. Our crash has been cleared to the right shoulder, so all lanes are open. Your backup starts at Union. That's a 5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup. Everett to Arlington right now is a 1-hour commute, a 45-minute delay. Over to Canyon Park, South 405 at 527. Collision still blocks that left lane. You're bumper-to-bumper to that Alderwood interchange. North 405, heavy from 124th in Totem Lake to the scene. We're still at about 50 minutes from Linwood to Bellevue and vice versa. South 5 into Seattle, bumper to bumper at 85th to I-90, 40 minutes from Linwood. North 5 slows to the Michigan curve in the downtown. And in Lakewood, we just cleared the scene of our brush fire, South 5 at South Tacoma Way, so that opens up 2 right lanes. Meanwhile, you've got a solid backup starting near the mall, Tacoma to Olympia's at 50 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500 during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO Newsradio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Please be advised. You may want to stop eating the following foods immediately. Broccoli, kale, bean sprouts, blueberries, quinoa, spinach.
Wait, what? I thought those were good for me.
Turns out, not for everyone. Because what's healthy for one person can cause inflammation for another. And the only way to really know what your body needs is to listen to it.
Listen how?
That's where Viome comes in. Viome is a simple at-home gut health test that looks at your body's real-time biology using RNA to understand what's happening inside you right now. When your results come in, you'll learn exactly which foods to eat, which to avoid, and which supplements are right for you, all based on the world's largest RNA-based human biology database and thousands of clinical research studies. And many people who use Viome report more energy, better digestion, and a better mood within months. So stop guessing. Start knowing. Learn more at Viome.com/gut. V as in Victor, IOME.com/GUT. And use coupon code GUTHEALTH50 to save $50 off your purchase. Viome. Trust your gut.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team.